Hey, what's up, guys? It's Algana here, and I'm actually here with my first live stream on YouTube because I've done stuff on Twitch, but I've decided to stop for reasons like just because I don't know. It's really just really hard to like. It's really hard to. Okay, yeah, it's just really hard to I just get views on there. It's really hard to like, I hear YouTube's a bit easier, so I just wanted. Plus, also, I like to make videos on YouTube as well, so I enjoy doing that. Even if I don't put, even if I'm not the best at making the videos, I try at least anyway. So, all right, you guys ready to respond to some videos or like watch some videos with me and watch me respond to them and utterly quote unquote destroy these these liberals and atheists. I'm just kidding. That was sarcastic. That wasn't serious, by the way. I'm not like that. I swear. I swear. Say wallahi, bro. Say wallahi. Anyway, I'm going to get into this video. All right. I hope that. Actually, no, I think I'll stay in chat. Actually, real quick. I'll stay in chat a little bit, real quick. Just wait for people to roll in here a little bit, just so I can get people to do that. So I don't know if everyone's gonna comment at this time of night, but anyway, like, I mean, I wish like they did this for Twitch because I have like there's a chat thing for YouTube and stuff. Like you can view the chat, the live chat. Sorry, yeah, the live chat for that. So I mean, I'm looking at it right now. Obviously, no one's here because I mean I just started the stream. So, but yeah, I'm gonna watch some of this video. This is a 30-minute video. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go through all of it, but I'll see what it's got to offer. What the heck? What the heck is that? Okay, well this video is called "Why Republicans Can't Stop Obsessing Over Trans People." I found a lot of videos that I feel like, it just that I feel like it would be it would be very nice to respond to some of these videos, you know. So I think I'll try to have some fun doing it, but yeah, I mean, you guys, if you guys have any videos that you guys want me to respond to as well, just like let me know in like the maybe in the if there's comments after like the live stream or something, like let me know, like let me know if it's like just give the video name and like the person. Don't like put a link because I don't want to trust it like a random link. Just do like a only do like just the name of the video and then the person who it's by. Okay, so that's kind of the idea here. So anyway, should we get into it or should I just wait a little longer? I don't know. I haven't streamed in a while, and usually I used to stream like games and stuff. So I am not the I am certainly by no means I'm certainly by absolutely no means professional at this at all. So yeah, I'm sorry if this isn't the best stream at first because my first YouTube stream and one of my first the first stream I've done in a long time. So because I usually do videos, so it's a little different. I don't usually have a live chat, so I'm not sure how long to wait before I actually do stuff because it's gonna be a stream. So I guess I could probably get right into it. I guess because like I could probably get kind of right into it. Yeah. Or should I wait for people to comment? Okay. It's the dilemma. It's the dilemma. Should I wait? Should I wait or should I go right into it? What should I do here? Okay. Fans. Activity participants. Okay. So far, I think I'm the only one in chat here. So far, anyway. But yeah, I'll just kind of wait till like people start rolling in a little bit. I mean, okay, not one probably wait till people start rolling in. Actually, it would probably take forever because this is the first time I streamed on YouTube in a while. And I did not like say, I did not go and say I'm streaming. I did not warn everyone I'm streaming because I didn't know if this was going to work. So I didn't want to give any promises. This is supposed to be a test stream. Now I will try to actually do some content here. Okay, not do nothing. I will try to do some content because I might as well. But yeah, it's already been like 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes in the stream, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I put it for 5 minutes. Late work. I'm just kidding. But like, anyway, let's get into the video actually, because I want to have some fun, and what was I gonna say? Did I even know? Anyways, I just want to like, girls just want to have some fun. Girls just want to have fun, you know what I mean? But like the song reference, but except I'm a dude, so it doesn't really apply to me. But whatever, still using the reference anyway. Okay, let's get into it, you guys.
Holy moly, donut shop. So I've been seeing a lot of people panicking about a lot of the trans fear that's been going on here. People are scared of trans people.
Yeah.
People are scared that, oh my goodness, there's a guy who wants to chop his balls off. It's horrifying. It's his balls. He can do whatever he wants with them. I want to get my...
Okay, but the problem isn't. But here's the thing. This is already a point that like people like on the right. Not saying I'm particularly on the right. When it comes to my political affiliations, I'm not particularly. I'm not sure where I am, honestly. Like I mean, I took a test like in school, and it said I was like barely on the. I was close like to left or whatever, but I wasn't like the left necessarily. I wasn't like. It was more like you know. But at the same time, I mean, my views may have changed since then. I'm not sure, but like, but I have more. I kind of have traditional Christian views. Traditional Christian views. I try to say like that 10 times fast or 5 times fast, whatever you're supposed to say it. Whatever the actual thing is when you're supposed to say that. Okay, I'm probably not making any sense right now because like my mouth often moves faster than my brain, so it cannot, and that's probably not the best thing, but probably not a good thing. It's probably not the it's the most ideal thing to do. But anyway, my point was basically, what was it? Yeah, it's not simply like, oh, it's just not just, we're not just talking about adult people, right? Now, of course, I don't know the statistics on everything. I haven't done too much statistic looking at, but I did do some research, I think, today on some stuff. Probably weak research, but, I still researched nonetheless. It wasn't the best, but it also, But anyway, yeah, I mean, the problem is, though, I mean, you can see there's actual videos of, like, this being allowed, and or at least of this being approved of by people, or this being, what was it called? Like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. It's like when someone like condones it, not condones it, and like pushes it out there. I don't know why I can't think of the word for some reason. Like it's like promote. Yes, promote. I don't know why the heck I couldn't think of the word promote, but whatever. When the people are kind of promoting it, right? What about minors getting these like I think surgeries, but at least hormone blockers and cross hormone therapy, I think, as well. So I mean, those three, if not just those two, and not the surgery, but I'm pretty sure it happens too for surgeries. Now, I'm not sure whether it's legally allowed to happen for surgeries. I mean, there are some people who allow that to happen. Like some doctors be doing that. It seems like, I mean, I've watched like some videos like showing that kind of does happen. So some of this type of stuff. So, but I don't have any particular instances in my mind of like names of people or anything so far, but I could look into that later. But right now I've been doing a little research on like quote unquote research. I guess I'm not the best researcher, but I'm trying out here. I'm trying, I'm trying to like right now. I'm trying to doing more Christian apologetics content because the original kind of purpose of this channel was mainly like Christian apologetics, not I guess I don't know what you'd call it, like anti-trans apologetics. I don't even gender critical. It wouldn't be gender critical because that'd be like more like saying, well, I don't believe that there's a that'd be more like, I think from what I've gathered, that it's gender critical is more like you don't believe in like the masculinity and femininity being ascribed to people, and that they should be encouraged, for them to be encouraged to do those things. I think that's kind of what gender critical is. Don't quote me on that though, because I could be wrong. I don't, because it's probably because I'm not in the gender critical space really. But yeah, I'm going yapping, bro. I'm absolutely yapping, and that's okay. It's good to yap sometimes. You just want to yap about something important, or something good, or whatever. I guess whatever's biblical. I don't know. But anyway, let me just continue here. But yeah, my point was, before I continue, yeah, it was just like the problem isn't adults transitioning for most people anyway, or for at least a lot of people. I wouldn't know if I should say most, but quite a lot of people, at least on the right, from what I gather. The problem, a lot of them say, if you're an adult and if you're a consenting adult, and you want to transition, fine, right? But as soon as you start, basically, as soon as you start getting the minors into it, as soon as you get to people who can't even consent to, like, you know, smoking cigarettes, to doing alcohol. I mean, I guess that would technically not, quote unquote, be a minor. Minor would be like under 18, but I mean, there's people who can't even do those things yet they can they can literally stop puberty from happening when it's naturally supposed to happen at that time, right? For no other reasons other than, like, for the most part, just like because they feel like they want to be another gender, or they have like gender or sex, or like or gender dysphoria and stuff. I mean, gender dysphoria, like, I'm sure, like, that's might be an actual thing. Of course, I mean, I haven't looked into it too much, so, but, like, I mean, from stuff I've heard, it does seem like it could be a real thing, and I think that if you do have that, I would not suggest by any means transitioning. I would suggest looking at other options first, or just looking at other options, right? Like, of course, obviously looking into the Bible, and just try, praying to God and stuff. But of course, if you don't want to do that, if you want to go a more secular route, maybe like take some medicines or do some therapy and like everything. I mean, I'm not a medical professional. I have no idea how to treat gender dysphoria, so please, don't like judge me too harshly here, because I don't know all this kind of stuff. But that's just my ideas of what you could do. But anyway, let's continue.
My balls sawed off. They get too sweaty sometimes. They're a little bit annoying. I hate them. There are
We
women
didn't
that
need
want
to
to get
know
rid
that,
of their
but okay.
chest memories. How are they going to breastfeed? They don't want to have kids. That's the entirety of what's going on there. Well, if they do want to have kids, then let them. I don't know. It's their choice. But
Bro's acting like he's refuting literally every argument ever. But here's the thing, right? The problem is, like I said, it has to do with minors, right? Minors cannot consent to certain things. Um, like I said, like going to war, like alcohol, like cigarettes that have long-term effects, right? Well, it turns out chopping off your testicles is can quite be a long-term effect. You will never probably have them in the same way you had them before again, as far as I'm aware, at least. Okay, I could be wrong, but I doubt you can regrow those, at least in the same. So anyway, like, and when you do that, if you're a kid, right? Those kids, here's the thing: when you're a minor, right? Because minor, like, it's just like, you might not have the full idea of, like, the consequences of your actions yet, right? You might actually, like that's why, like, people, you just ask any adult that's, like, around the age of, like, 25 or 30, like, especially not 30, like maybe 30 or 35, 40, right, or older. Ask them if they could have gone back, went to, like, their younger years and done, if there was anything they would have done differently, if they could have gone back and fixed anything. And I guarantee you they'll say yes, right? There's something that they've done that was stupid, or that was just, it was a moment of just, like, them being young and they didn't know, I mean, they didn't know about the consequent long term effects of certain things, or the effects of certain things. They just did it when they're young. I mean, the problem is the minors, right? Now he's kind of fighting a straw man for the most part. I mean, there's probably some people who believe in just outright banning all transgender surgeries. When it comes to my view on that, I'm not quite sure. I mean, I think just because it's America, I mean, I'd probably be able to compromise possibly with allowing it just for adults, because I mean, because technically you have plastic surgeries too for people, and people can get those. So I mean, if they can get plastic surgeries, they should be, like, legally, they should be allowed to get transitioning surgery, probably. I mean, it just seems to make sense to me, but, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a legal professional, so I'm not professional in this subject either, legality either. But I'd imagine it's like, hold on, is my desktop audio muted? Hold on, was this muted? Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I have to see if this desktop audio is muted real quick. Hold on. Actually, wait. I'm just gonna try.
They want to abort the baby. That's their decision as well.
Okay.
They shouldn't be allowed to do that. Why isn't?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, I think the desktop stuff was muted. Hold on. I don't know why the heck this starts muted. What the heck? Hold on. Okay, I actually think that you can hear it. I actually think that you can hear it though, because like let's see here. I'm the other participant in the room. That's sad. Very sad, very, very sad. But yeah, I mean, oh, let's see if I can still hear. Hold on.
Men talking about this stuff. Can we have a woman's opinion on abortion for once? Ever? Can we do that? Is that would be cool? But I've been seeing.
1 second, you guys. Okay. I think you can hear it. I don't know where where the audio of this is supposed to be on OBS Studio. So I'm kind of confused because like, it seems like it's all muted and stuff. Maybe that's I don't know. Maybe it's like a different. I have no idea why I can hear it on the stream. So I have no idea. It's confusing me.
A lot of people talk about, oh, there's so many closeted gay Republicans and stuff.
Okay, let's address this point. Like, he wants a woman's opinion on abortion for once. Well, there have been plenty of instances, at least a couple instances I can think of. At least one where it's like what was it? For her name, but like there is a woman that there's a couple women I've seen like that those debates I've been watching recently. There have been literally women who argue against abortion. This happens, bro. Like this is not something completely out of the ordinary. It's not just men arguing against abortion. Okay, like I know it might seem like, oh, okay, well if there's no women arguing for abortion, you see your point is invalid or something. I don't know. Like it's even if so, it wouldn't be because like women. Here's the thing. People might the reason why he might now this is just speculation here. Why he might say, oh yeah, you might want a woman's opinion on abortion, like, is because it affects them, and it does affect them, right? In some ways, of course, but it also affects the child. I mean, and like, you can't really get the child's opinion unless like you let it live for a certain amount of time. So like, you know, whether he or she wants to live or die or whatever, you know. Well, but anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't think you can really argue really well for abortion for the most part. I mean, I think the only good argument in my opinion for abortion, and I'll probably say this several times on this channel, the only good argument for it that I will ever listen to, that by that I mean like I'll probably ever be able to understand, you know, not that I won't honestly try to like understand the other arguments. I will try, of course. Doesn't mean I'm not completely close. I'm not saying I'm closed-minded to those things, but I'm just saying that the only argument that convinces I see that I can be convinced of is probably like the life of the mother argument. Like that's a more of, to me. 1 second. Sorry, I got distracted. My friend called me, but anyway. Yeah, so basically, what was I saying? But yeah, but life of the mother is more of like a gray area because like then someone else's life is deliberately at risk. I mean, especially if it's for something like incest or the R word, you know. I'm not sure if I can say that on a stream. I'm not sure what will happen, but like yeah, I'm not sure like because at that point I'd be like, you know, it's the mother didn't choose for that to happen. It's not like it was something that she went like, yeah, I'm going to agree to the risks too. It's not like she accepted the terms of agreement when you like if you normally consensually had intercourse with somebody. It's so in those cases especially, like I can totally see there being a decent argument for, you know, or at least something that would bring you to a moral gray area of, okay, what do you do, right? Like whose life is more, quote unquote, more valuable, or whose life should be prioritized in this moment, the child's or the mother's, right? And of course, this is provided that that all measures are taken, or as much measures as possible, as reasonably possible, are taken to ensure the life of both of the mother and the child. So don't just go, oh, let's kill the baby. Let's not go right there, right? Let's not go there just yet. Okay, let's not rush to that. But like, yeah, I just think that, you know, if under those circumstances, right, it might be permissible, possibly. Like, I can see that. But like any other circumstance, I'm not so sure about. You know, I'm not as sure about when it comes to like the morality of like, because keep in mind you're actually ending the life of a human being here, because I'm yapping way too much for this pod. I'm 20 minutes into the video and literally I'm 43 seconds into the video, and I've been yapping for 20 minutes. Provided 5 to 10 minutes of those were actually just me beforehand, before watching the video. Let's just get it back into it. I'll probably
like that. Now, I do think that it is strange to continually say that your enemy is also the thing that they hate. It is a little bit strange to do that.
Hold on.
For once, ever, can we do that? That would be cool. But I've been seeing a lot of people talk about, oh, there's so many closeted gay Republicans and stuff like that. Now, I do think that it is strange to continually say that your enemy is also the thing that they hate. It is a little bit strange to do that. But specifically with Republicans,
I think it's strange, because I've heard people say that, like, they say, like, oh, so many Republicans are closeted gays, so many of those Republican Christians are just closeted homosexuals, you see, but, like, I mean, what's odd to me is they say that as if it's, like, a bad thing, when, okay, like, according to I'm looking at this according to their logic, right? Because according to the LGBTQ logic, being gay is something to be celebrated. It's Pride Month right now. I'm streaming on Pride Month. Okay, the second day of Pride Month, you guys. But don't be prideful, you guys. Stay humble. But anyway, back to the idea here. Yeah, I mean, it's weird that people will say, like, that are part of the LGBT community will say that these Republicans are just closeted gays, as if, like, so many Republicans are just closeted gays, as if, like, that's, like, a bad thing according to them as well. Like, so it's almost like they're arguing against their point. But I mean, I could be wrong here.
Not really. So what I want to do is kind of examine why there are so many gay Republicans and what they hate about trans people. And this video isn't
what gay Republicans hate about trans people. I mean, well, this is why Republicans can't stop obsessing over trans people. Okay, I can't speak today, but it's not why gay Republicans or why closeted Republicans. It's just why Republicans can't stop obsessing over trans people. But let's see.
To be dogging on gay people or something of that variety is mainly observing the mindset of a Republican man that is secretly homosexual, or a reason why they might hate trans people, and also go.
Trans people. But anyway, it's like a. So he's probably gonna he's probably gonna, like, I don't know if he's gonna do some I don't know, just like some straw man of that, like just saying, like, now I don't know for sure, I'm not gonna, like, say for sure he's gonna do that, I have no idea, but, like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Like, he's going to just, like, explain why gay Republicans specifically, closeted gay Republicans, might hate trans people. I mean, I mean, I wonder how he defines hate here, like, why he disagrees with, like, whether they should, like, be able to transition at certain ages, or, like, whether they should be able to transition at all, whether they should, I mean, or whether they even agree on the issue, whether you can be trans or not. I mean, there's plenty of, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people on the left, too, that actually don't agree with plenty of LGBT people in general who are not closeted, that actually are not a fan of the TQ plus part of the LGBTQ plus movement, or rather, a community. So, I mean, there's people that are not a fan, right, of that. Like, maybe even a bit of the original, the OG gays and stuff from, like, the 80s and 90s, OG LGBTQ community might not even be a fan of, like, the TQ plus, a bit of it. I mean, some of them might, but, let's continue.
Go to Thailand all the time. You ever notice how there's always those company trips to Thailand where they say, we got to go to Thailand, guys, and get some lady boys. I believe it's called Katui. Katui, I believe, is what they're called. Kathoey. I believe that's what it's spelled. Katui. We're going to talk about that. But first, let's talk about the fun examples of gay Republican nonsense. Don't know.
Gay Republican nonsense. Okay, so meaning they're calling it nonsense. Gay Republican nonsense, you say. Interesting. I wonder why he's discrediting it like that. Why saying it's just nonsense, and just saying it's just... It's odd. I mean, let's just say here. Husband of former U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security loves to dress in women's clothes and wear huge prosthetic testicles.
You guys remember the bimbofication of Brian Gnomes? This is a pretty big story for a while. The
This
husband of
even
former U.S. Secretary of Homeland Defense loves to dress in women's clothes and wear huge prosthetic breasts. This is a real thing, by the way. This isn't like a bit or a joke. This was captured by
that's
Daily
crazy.
Mail, where he was saying he wants to be a woman real bad. It was pretty interesting going on for a while, where he was on a bunch of bimbo sites saying he wants to feel like a woman and gets bimbofied. It was pretty interesting
You know, is
to
this even
witness this,
acceptable as
and
like
people
term
were going
TOS?
crazy about it. They're saying he's so religious. How could he do this? Please offer our thoughts and prayers to our family at the time. It was pretty.
It might be grifting. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not gonna immediately. I'm not gonna like say for sure it's grifting. I mean, so he'll do grift. I mean, I haven't seen like how he's talking about it, but like, could be grifting. Could be like he generally wants to be a woman. Maybe he has gender dysphoria. I don't know. Let's just continue.
Nuts. I wasn't surprised by this information in any way, shape, or form because I have encountered mostly Republican gay men on Grindr whenever I was doing my escapades in order to blackmail them. They're getting blackmailed by a black male. Essentially, that was going on there. But outside.
Why would you be blackmailing them, bro? Like, you're just literally admitting to blackmailing people. Like, what? Why would you do that? I mean, I don't know any of the context, but like, still, I mean, like, what the heck? Why are you blackmailing them for? Is it because they're gay, or is it because they're Republican, or is it because they're gay and Republican?
Outside of that, there's also the Grindr debacle. The Grindr CEO confirms significant user spike during Republican National Convention. And this is exactly what I expected the CEO of Grindr to look like. Just a man that I would trust with my whole body, mind, chest, and soul. He looks like somebody that says he's HIV negative but still uses PrEP. And I gotta respect that for him. I love that for him. Grindr CEO has acknowledged that the app had a significant spike in usage during last year's Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. In a new interview with Unheard's Freddie Sayers, George Arson dismissed rumors that the traffic had caused servers to crash, but confirmed there have been a surge in users that supporters celebrated Trump's confirmation as the Republican candidate. It's a whole thing there. At the time of the event in last July, rumors spread across social media that Grindr had crashed due to influx of Republicans in the Midwestern city. Disgraced former Republican Congressman George Santos, even though the convention, the Grindr Super Bowl. Arson told Unheard that there was a tweet storm last summer. We didn't actually crash, but there was a significant spike in usage. Now, this is pretty common, actually. I knew about this. I knew about there being a lot of Republicans on Grindr. If you're really into the gay man scene specifically, you know there's a lot of Republicans there, a lot of closeted homosexuals, or more so a lot of people that we.
I mean, how do you know they're closeted specifically, though? I mean, are they saying that they're not gay somewhere else, or like just denying it, but then they go on Grindr? I mean, is that how it's happening, or are they just going on Grindr and stuff, and they're just like maybe they're just gay, they just chose not to tell anybody? Because here's the thing, the difference mainly between a lot of as far as I might know, gay Republicans and gay not liberals, but leftists, is the gay leftists like to tell everybody they're gay, let everybody know because that's a big part of their identity, and gay Republicans don't really tell people that. They just go on with their life and they just do what they're doing, and only mention them being gay when it's good for conversation. We have someone in the chat. Oh, interesting. Is this spam or something, or is it like, what is that on? Oh, that happened. What the heck? Yeah, what? Give me 1 second. Just trying to figure stuff out here. Well, I'm back on. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, like who joined or whatever, whatever the person said, because like the comment was like retracted or something. I don't know what that. Anyway, let's just continue. Anyway. I'm just gonna continue. See what happens. I have like 4 views so far on the stream. One of them was probably me, so just because I clicked on it just for making sure some stuff. But anyway, let's continue watching the video.
We call DL. They wear beards, and the beards being their wives, where they have the family at home, but they want to either be dominated by somebody that's a man with breasts, and I mean like prosthetic breast cross-dresser, or they want to get dominated by a trans woman. Either or, that's what they want. They just want to have that happen to them, or they want to dominate one of them. It's a whole thing. This was a thing back in the day with pedastry. This was a whole thing in ancient Greece, was a practice mainly associated with the upper class, where an older man, aristates, would be in a relationship with a younger male. And this is a whole thing, usually in his teens. This was a coaching method. They would sleep with each other. It was a whole thing. It was very common back in the day. It was horrifically common back in the day. Now, I could go through the history and all that and tell you how I know that men are secretly gay and how they want to dominate each other and stuff of that variety because of the big masculine urges, but I'm going to do something even more fun. This question comes up every time another anti-gay politician gets caught messaging men on an app. People want to know why it keeps happening. Why does this pattern repeat? Why do conservative spaces seem to produce so many closeted figures who rail against the very thing they secretly are? You know what I mean? The answer is not that Republicans are secretly gay. That's too simple. That's too easy. No, no, no. It's a answer that...
Well, that would be a generalization, so it'd be kind of hard to prove that because it'd just be a generalization.
The collision between power, religion, masculinity, culture, and social pressure. You see, these four forces that squeeze a person until something cracks, and they're cracking gay men in the back of a Denny's. Conservative community...
So are you saying that people aren't born gay? Are you saying that people can become gay because of religion, social pressure, etc.? Are you saying that's how that works? Or like, are you like saying like... I'm confused. Like, what?
In the United States are often more religious and more traditional about gender roles and less accepting of openly queer identities. Let's take...
What do you mean accepting of queer identities? I mean, are you talking about like accepting of like the people as people, or are you talking about accepting like... I guess he did say accepting the identities, but like accepting like the identities as like something true. I mean, how are we like defining like accepting in this context here? What are we talking about?
Take my favorite black Republican of all time, for example. Tyler Perry dresses up as Medea. It's his big role. Tyler Perry is, at least at the bare minimum, a bisexual man because he has very intimate relationships with men a lot of the time. That is what he does a lot of the time.
Like what kind of
he loves
relationship?
dressing up as Medea. He loves dressing up as a woman.
How do you know he loves doing that? Like, just because he did movies for it doesn't mean he automatically, oh, he loves dressing up as a woman. You see, guys, he loves dressing up as a woman. He made a couple movies about it. You see, he loves dressing up as a woman. He loves having, he loves having relationships with a man. You see, she is gay. She's a bisexual.
But Tyler Perry is very openly conservative. He believes in God, and a lot of his stuff and his thing is very God-centered. He focuses heavily on God, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but that religious backing mixed with him being homosexual or in some way bisexual himself is disgustingly common because of the pageantry of the church. When someone grows up hearing the same...
Hold on, I gotta look at what that word means. Big word. Gotta look it up, because I'm not like a super hyper genius that knows everything. Peasantry. Yeah, peasantry. You know. Social... No, it's peasantry. It's peasantry. Peasantry. I think it has to do with like low class stuff. Maybe it's like peasantry he's trying to say. I don't know. I don't know what word he's trying to like use, but anyway. I mean, I don't know. It's like, I mean, he didn't give any evidence of that celebrity being gay. He just said, well, he likes having a relationship with Ben, and he dresses up as Madonna, and so he loves dressing up as a woman, right? Just because he dresses up as Madonna for a role in a movie, right? I mean, just because you do something as a role in a movie does not mean you actually like doing it or enjoy doing it. Those are two different things. Like, he's not even making a good argument here. I mean, he's not even giving a good example because we'd have to prove that he actually enjoys that, right? And stuff. Not that to actually show that he's probably at least bisexual. This kind of feels like the equivalent so far of like okay, wait, got chatter. Former Christian, current agnostic, willing to practice my anti-Christian apologetics. Do call in chat. This is my first stream on YouTube, so I don't know how to do that. But like, I could figure out how to do that sometime. I mean, if you stick around, it's like my videos, and I could probably like figure out how to do that, and I could do another stream, maybe do a call-in stream. I mean, if you want, you can practice it in the chat. You can actually ask me questions in the chat if you want. I could try to answer your questions, and I could try to like push you on stuff. I mean, that'd be fun. I like to do that because this is partially chatting after all. These videos are, I guess at this point, could be something I could do for fun. But yeah, please, if you want to practice your anti-Christian apologetics, please feel free to like, type it all in the chat. Now I'm not the best apologist, but I could try. Oh really? Yippee! All right. Stick around, and I'll try to make a video soon about like the Gospels too. You can like, if you want, you can comment on that, and I could just, because I respond to people in the comments usually in my videos. And I don't get like so many comments where it's impossible to respond to people too. So I mean, if you comment in my videos, and if I notice, like I'll, which I most likely will, because I check my thing on my videos, like what's it called, the stats of my videos a lot. So, but if you want to, you can also like just do stuff in chat too, and I can like respond to it too, because I'll be checking chat every once in a while, and I can like talk to you about it and stuff. But like, because I would love to do that, because like it's just something I really enjoy doing. It's just apologetics, man. That's what I love to do. Defend my faith, because I am indeed Christian, and you know. Anyway, I don't know if I should probably continue the video. I'll keep out for watch for your chats, so I can, or for like any chats that are new and stuff. So, all right, back to the video.
Sex attraction is simple, weak, shameful, or politically dangerous. They learn to hide.
Hold on,
Not
one second. Hold on. I read it on. I'm joking about anti-Christian apologetics, but I do like getting some pushback to figure out where I am on where I am on the right track, and where I'm being a dum dum. What denomination, tradition? Okay, here's something. If you asked me this on like my last few videos when I was posting those a couple months ago, I would have said Lutheran. I'm not so sure anymore, because I've actually been checking out like no, like, well, actually, I love having conversations. I also think the chat's probably more important than the video, I'm responding to. This was, I mean, I did want to respond to the video, but at this point, I certainly wanted to like, I do want to like respond to people, because it's one of the biggest things I've wanted, like when it comes to like, well, I've wanted to be like a YouTuber / streamer, like, is because I wanted like a community. I've always wanted like a community I could like chat with, and I kind of prioritize that a bit too. So like, I would love to talk to you. I can always like respond to the video later or something. I guess at this point, this video is becoming something that I just do while I'm waiting for chats to roll in. But yeah, I mean, what denomination tradition I am? Like I said, I mean, I've been going to the Lutheran church. I haven't gone in a little bit, but like, I'm planning on trying to go this Sunday. But I'm currently I haven't done it a little bit, but I'm looking into universalism kind of. Christian universalism, not Unitarian Universalist. That's heretical because it's Unitarian. But the Universalist part, I'm seeing if universalism is compatible with Christianity. I think one of my favorite apologists is Universalist Inspiring Philosophy. He's amazing. He's great for stuff, but at the same time, I mean, he does a lot of, I guess, anti-Islam stuff. So it's like not as much, you know, anti-atheist or whatever it is. Like not a ton of pro-Christian apologetics. Like talking about like things within the Christian, talking about within the inter-Christian relations, or talking about like Christian, you know, talking about Christian versus atheist stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with some of the apologists like that, like, because I wish it was like more like Universalist apologists that I could actually watch to see if, like, you know, to get some information on. But I do know some people. I did actually meet some people that kind of introduced me to Universalism, kind of, and like. But I wouldn't want to like conclude already that I'm universalist. I'm a hopeful universalist. I'm looking into it. But it's, I don't know. I'm such a yapper. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'll continue the video for now, and if you want to say something, you can say something.
Decades,
I'll respond to
a
it.
lifetime. Being openly gay carries a much higher social cost in those environments than in liberal ones. The cost is,
you know, I can agree with that. What we're saying, I can agree with that. However, I would also like to mention, though, to everyone watching, that also disagreeing with the narrative, certain narratives on the left is a little more dangerous than, or has a little more pushback than on the right, at least. Usually, because usually the right's like the right. I think I've seen like a graph that was saying like the views are a lot wider spread out, and then the views are a lot closer, a lot more similar on the left. I think I did see a little study thing for that. But anyway, interesting. I made a brief stop in Evangelical Christian Universalism on my way out. Oh, so you are are you an agnostic currently, or like, because you said you made a brief stop in Evangelical Christian Universalism? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm evangelical, but Christian Universalism on my way out. Okay, well, hopefully I'm not on my way out. I sure hope not. But like, before you left, I mean, I gotta be careful. Just not to leave Christianity, you know, just because like, I mean, okay, I believe in Christianity just because like, I mean, I've had like spiritual experience. kind of spiritual experiences. I believe I've heard the voice of God, like at least once or twice, maybe 3 times, um, and I've also I've like looked at like the apologetics of it too, because at first it was mostly the apologetics that I've looked into, that I was like watch apologetics videos that kind of got me like having going faith again and stuff, that kind of got me convinced. But have you heard of Robin Perry? You wrote a book under a different name, Gregory MacDonald, because he hadn't come out as Universalist yet. But I was very interested. Wait a minute, Robin Perry. Well, let me look at. Oh, let me look at this. Maybe I've heard of this actually. One. So far, streaming seems to be working pretty well. I'm pretty excited for this one. Robin Perry the Platypus. I mean, I don't know. Perry the Platypus made a book about Universal. Didn't know it was Christian. Didn't know platypuses can be, or platypi can be Christian. But yeah, theologian. Okay. It looks a little familiar. Well, it looks a little familiar actually, I think. He's got some stuff about myths about universalism. He's got some Robin A. Perry books, biography list updates. I mean, I don't know if I've heard. Maybe I've heard of him from someone who's a universalist, but I never read his books or anything. I mean, but it'd be interesting to see. I think it'd be interesting to like take a look at his content if he's got some stuff. But I mean, I have to get into reading though. It might be too evangelical for you. Like, I mean, I don't know where I stand on that stuff too. I have to like do some more research into like whether some of the core doctrine, because I have a terrible memory. So like I can easily forget like why I believe what I believe, and then I'll feel like, well, I don't really have a good backing for what I believe, and so I'll just kind of like go, okay, well, I don't know if I believe this anymore. So I need to like, I have a Google Doc, right? I have Google Docs where I write down my Christian apologetics, and where I like write down like the stuff where I can like why I believe, kind of what I believe, or kind of like with evidence and stuff, like with the quotes from the Bible and like everything and sources and everything. I kind of like, so I mean, I'm doing that so I can remember and stuff. I can just look back at that every time I want to see an answer to like something. If I forgot, well, why do I believe that in universalism? I'm not even like currently universalist, I'm not currently that, but why do I believe in universalism, or why do I believe that the Bible doesn't say this, or why do I believe the Bible says this? I have like, or I have a Google Doc about that, and it's for Christian apologetics. If you were Lutheran, I thought you presented a pretty interesting view, or something I really liked. Yeah, I mean, I could maybe check it out. I mean, I'm not super big into reading books currently, just because like I haven't read books too much since school, since I graduated. But I do want to end up reading books though, because that's kind of how you get educated and kind of get smart, as you read books or something. Like, that's kind of what I hear anyway. One of the ways. So there are some YouTube videos of his lectures based on the book ideas. Those might be a good way to get a sense for his angle. Yeah, actually, is his YouTube name like is his name Robin Perry on his YouTube, or is it Gregory MacDonald for his YouTube? I would think it's Robin Perry, but I don't. I certainly would love to check out his YouTube channel. If he's got a YouTube channel, that's a lot easier for me to do that. I would love to do that. Nah, I just realized your name's kind of funny though. All bathwater all along. I just think of like the gamer girl bathwater thing, that because it was a few years ago that was kind of a thing. Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, I'll check out his YouTube channel. I'll continue the video for now. And if you say something, I'll keep that in mind. I'll try to respond to it, or talk about it.
Measured in family rejection. Get out of my thing. You get exiled from the church, which everybody in your family goes to church, and you can lose your.
I think what he's talking about right now. I just stopped it right after I stopped it before, but like, I want to mention, I don't think you get exiled from your church for certain things like this. Like if it's like at least Protestant. If it's Catholic, then probably it might be a possibility. But like if it's Protestant, that might not happen. Orthodox, I'm not sure if that'll happen, but that's more of a Catholic thing, I would think, exiling out of the church. But yeah.
entire career because your career is built upon that. And the loss
Yeah, Robin
of
Perry's his
every
name. Yeah,
community tie you
I'll check it
ever
out.
knew, you lose that backing of everybody you knew. Most people cannot pay that price, so they
I
build a
don't I don't know if you like lose all your backing. I mean, it would depend on like the family. It would depend on like the people. I mean, it's not like a base. It's not like a base thing of Republicans. That it's not like all Republicans will do that. I mean, there's quite a. Republicans are not a monolith, or at least not as much of a monolith as leftists are. But like leftists are not either a monolith either, because like they can still their views can still vary. I mean, there's plenty of people on the left that do vary quite a bit from like the normal the norm. But at that point, some of them do kind of get crap for it. But I mean, so people on the right too might give crap to the people on the left too. Some people who are on the right who have the more left leaning views or different views from them to an extent, but I think less. But yeah, right. I'll look up his YouTube name right now so you can get that in my thing. Robin Perry. Praise the Lord, this YouTube stream's going really well. Far better than my Twitch streams. My goodness. There he is. Got 2 safe survivors. Forest Church over there. We got some lectures on there though. I mean, he's got some videos on it. Creation out of nothing. Is it biblical? Interesting. Okay. We need to see creation. Psalm 104. Well, yeah, I'll check out his channel. Brian, I want to praise the Lord for you, bro. Just because I'm so happy that you actually I don't know, you're like kind of open minded, and just kind of you came in here and you're like, I don't know. It's been so long since I've actually done a stream, so it's kind of exciting for me, But when you do that and you're like beginner or whatever, you don't get when you don't get that many people, it's kind of exciting to see people actually talking with you because it's I don't know, it's like the community thing I've always wanted. I mean, so it's something I've always wanted for in my dreams of becoming a content creator. Is one of the reasons because I wanted the community to talk to. I wanted the community that kind of likes what I do, that I can speak to and interact with and stuff. People that might like me or might even disagree with me, and the people that and just talk with me with that. It just sounds so utterly amazing to me. But anyway, yeah, back to the video. I can
closet.
Yeah.
And the closet is not this metaphor, it is a survival strategy. The closet is also a pressure cooker of all the stuff you have to hide about yourself that you secretly want to be. I think a big issue I have when people talk about this, besides someone just says, oh, he's secretly gay, obviously, he's just gay. No one wants to talk about the psychological side. It doesn't get any attention. When your identity clashes with the culture around you, compartmentalization becomes automatic. You might genuinely support conservative economic policies, immigration policy, gun rights, nationalism, or religion while privately struggling with sexuality. That's a real reality for a lot of people. Humans are not ideologically consistent creatures. Somebody can sincerely believe in low taxes and also be terrified of their church finding out they hooked up with men. The brain holds these contradictions.
Or he's specifically talking about actual some homosexual behavior here, with the hooking up with men thing. But I mean, if you have, I mean, in my personal view, if it's not sure how biblical this is, but I mean, going by, it is inspired by what the Bible does say, or at least kind of reasoned kind of out of that, right? It's as far as it doesn't seem to be a sin if you have mere homosexual desires. Now, in my personal opinion, it's actually no, what the Bible says, I guess, is it would be a sin if you at very least if you lusted after another person of the same sex, or because I get that from the verse actually where Jesus talks about if you lust after a woman, right, and then you commit adultery with her in your heart, right, and also if you directly have intercourse with the same sex, right, that's also would be a sin. But if you just have a desire, if you just are attracted to men or the same gender, I don't see why that would be a sin personally. And I think people can still be people can struggle with that, and so of course still be Christian, and they can certainly be loved by God. I mean, everyone's loved by God, even if you do practice homosexuality, God still loves that person, right? But at the same time, God would not like the sin. But if you're just I mean, God's not gonna reject you though if you simply have homosexual desires or anything, I mean, if you simply like just like the same sex, I mean, God's not gonna like, be mad at you probably, because I mean he's gonna probably like, be there for you and give you and guide you and I guess transform you into like being more Christ like, as he does with every Christian. So, and that's kind of my personal, well, I guess that's kind of what I get out of it anyway. I wouldn't say none of it's super personal, because some of it's kind of like biblically based, but
because the alternative is choosing between parts of yourself. And that choice feels impossible. With the extremist culture that we have now, especially back in the day, it's more extreme than it's ever been, especially online. It can't even be slightly gay. That's why gay is such a wildly crazy insult. The brain builds walls between these parts, and the walls hold until
I don't think gay is used as like as something that's been like a very super big insult. That's like, I mean, no one really gets offended by being called gay anymore, really. I don't think. I mean, I guess except maybe people more on the right might be, but like people on like the left aren't. I mean, are not gonna be insulted by that, probably. I mean, at this point, like, it's just kind of it's the big 26, right? I mean, if you're seriously like calling somebody gay as an insult in the big 26, I don't know what to say, bro. But I mean, it's the big 26, man. And this year, it's kind of much more accepted to be homosexual, At least it's like in the culture.
they don't want to. Look at any movie that has an action star. Look at any Ryan Gosling film. Look at Fight Club. Very heavily masculine. And you see these men with big bulging bodies, and you either say,
Big bulging bodies, crazy. These men with big bulging bodies. That's absolutely insane to me, bro.
to be
No way.
him, or I want him to be in me. Either or. You got to be with him in some variety. That's how it is. There's a reason
Yeah,
the
it's kinda
hyper
funny.
masculine closeted guy stereotype exists in movies and internet culture. In some environments, proving you are one of the guys becomes this big survival theater. You talk loud, you posture, you mock anything perceived as weak. You construct a version of yourself that could survive inspection. The construction is exhausting overall, and that exhaustion makes you angrier. And the anger gets directed outward at people who seem to be living the life you cannot have. You attack in others what you hate in yourself. That is the explanation for what is happening. And the explanation is so old and ancient, but the mechanisms behind it don't ever change. Just the names change. Visibility bias makes this seem worse than it might statistically be. When a conservative anti-gay politician gets exposed for secretly being on apps like Grindr, it becomes massive news because the hypocrisy is so explosive. If an openly progressive politician is gay, okay, that's whatever. No one cares. Nobody writes think pieces about another Democrat who is exactly who they said they are. Oh no, this Democratic Republic, this Democratic, this Democratic senator is sucking a whole bunch of penis. No one does that. That's not a story. Stories require tension. Contradiction is tension. Every scandal that
I mean, there are examples of like this kind of same story on the left too. I think. I mean, I'm trying to think of some examples. I mean, there's like I'm not exactly sure if these are good examples to keep in mind. If I say something that's a bad example, it's because like I didn't give myself too much time to think. But like I think like what is it? The left, I guess, has like of course, I mean, I don't want to generalize the whole left. I try to be careful not to generalize like the entire groups of people, But like just because it's like it's kind of dishonest, And if I do, like it's just a mistake I make, and if any of you guys lets me know on that, I can try to correct myself, but I personally think that what was I say? Yeah, on the left there's still some stories like this too, kind of with like oh my gosh, I have a good example, like the what is it, the feminists, oh sorry, not the feminists, the LGBTQ activists and the Palestinian march, like the Palestinians, their alliance is insane to me, just because like they both don't support what each of them would do but like just because they're aligned on this one purpose, they kind of can unite or something, or just because like they both believe in like Palestine being free and stuff, but that's kind of an example of like the big contradiction there too, but that's kind of also one of the things that people notice. When you get a chance, I would love to know, one, when you became Christian. Oh, it's showing interest in me, showing interest in my story. I appreciate that. It's very appreciated. I'll tell you. When you became Christian, did you grow up Christian in a Christian home, or come to later in life? And two, what are some of your favorite apologetic approaches, arguments to discuss Christianity? Okay, I'm not sure if I know all the argument names, but I can try to like figure that out. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm still doing research, but I think I have I think the max. Well, two. I'm gonna answer two really quick first. Like one of my favorite arguments. I haven't even heard the entire thing yet, but I've heard some of it, like, and I really like it. It's the max evidence. What is it called? The max, because it's like the opposition to like the minimal facts argument. Because the minimal facts one isn't that great. But like it's the max something. It's uh what was it called again? I forgot. Because Testify has a video of it. Like he said, like it's his newest video. Testify Apologetics is his newest video. And it's like he says talks about something like the max. What was it? I suck at remembering this kind of stuff when I'm like kind of like under pressure. But like when I'm under pressure, it's kind of like it's really hard to think, especially when I think so quickly. It's kind of hard to like think about the right things. That's kind of why it's not coming to mind. Um, but it's an argument made by like Testify in one of his news videos of like how he would personally, in his opinion, argue for the resurrection and stuff. That's my favorite argument because I like going for like the resurrection evidence, right? Evidence for resurrection, proving that Jesus rose from the dead, and if we can prove that Jesus rose from the dead, and that people aren't lying about that, and then you can like prove that kind of if Jesus said he was God, that that the Gospels are reliable. You can say that Jesus is God. It says he's God, so he's therefore based off all this he's God. Therefore, it proves God exists and it proves Jesus is God, proving theism and Christianity at the same time. It's personally my favorite argument. At least this general idea is like my favorite format to kind of do it. But like there are arguments, I guess, like the cosmological the arguments where like you just kind of go like I don't. I mean, I am one of those guys who says, well, if the like I guess if the universe like came into at least arguing if the universe came into being, then at some point in time, if that's the case, right, on that condition, then it would need something to have made it come into being. A cause, like, an effect would need a cause, right? If there was an effect of something, it needs a cause. Therefore, if the universe came into being at some point, it needed a creator. If the universe was created at some point by something, it would need a creator. But that's less. I don't like that as much as I like the arguing for the resurrection stuff, and especially because like the argument for the I think it's called the cosmological argument. I'm not sure. I forgot. I don't even know the argument names that well, but the argument where you just say like create like the created thing needs a creator. I mean, because that only works if like you assume that the universe, or if you at least agree that the universe came into being at some point, right? If you believe the universe is eternal, then you'd have to argue first, well, that the universe is not eternal, and then I would not the best at arguing that, but I prefer arguing for Christ, arguing that Jesus rose from the dead and stuff. That's kind of personally what I prefer to do. And to answer your first question, because I'm answering out of order for some reason, when I became Christian, I don't know how to answer. I mean, I kind of became like I said the thing first, like the prayer that you do, like I mean, because I actually the first real like encounter with Christians that were probably more devout than my parents were, because I kind of grew up in a Christian household, quote unquote Christian. I wouldn't even, I'm not sure what I should call a Christian, because my family doesn't like go to church, so like it's kind of they never brought me to church. I never went to they never went to church as far as I know. I mean they just kind of. So, I mean, I never really, I mean, I learned about some basic things, like, and stuff. I'm not even sure if I got some of this from them, but I learned about Jesus and stuff, like, just, like, Jesus is, like, the Son of God or something, and that he died for our sins, whatever the heck that meant. I didn't, at the time, I was too young, I was a kid, I didn't know what that meant, I didn't know the significance of it. Okay, I just knew Jesus died for my sins, okay, great, and, like, I mean, but, like, I had no idea the significance of it, and heck, I mean, I could talk a little more about some of my testimony, too, if you want, but, like, I did end up going to VBS, like vocational Bible school, and stuff, and they were kind of like more Baptist theology and stuff, and they kind of ended up going like they kind of taught me about like, well, they would teach me some stuff, like lessons about the Bible, but they, I mean, they actually got me to say like the quote unquote prayer, like I don't know what it's called, I forgot what it's called, but it's that prayer where it's like, Jesus, enter my heart, like I accept you into my heart, and whatever, like that kind of thing. I'm not sure if even asking Jesus accepting him into your heart or whatever, like to come in your heart. I'm not sure if asking Jesus to come in your heart is even biblical. I mean, it might be, but they probably get that from the area where the Bible talks. So like just I'm knocking at the door, and open in, like I will dine with you, whatever. Like I don't remember the exact wording, but I mean, I said the prayer. I think I said the prayer twice because I forgot exactly if I did that before. Like so, because that was a while after, and I did it again. I was probably something like, I don't know. It was like maybe like a 7, 8, 9 at the time. Or I was probably like, I went to VBS like when I was like a kid and stuff. You know, it was fun. The people were kind. It was awesome. But but yeah. I mean, I mean that's kind of, I might say, I'm not sure if that was the sinner. Yeah, I think that's what's called, the sinner's prayer. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean I prayed it, and I was like, it was nice. I remember I prayed it once on like I think the first time I prayed it, or maybe it was the second time, was like on a slide. It was like one of those swirly slides and stuff. I was sitting there and they were sitting beside me, because I was a kid. I was a little kid, so I was like at their face height, and I said that if that's how you become a Christian, I became like Christian like 13 times. I mean, depending on the view, I mean, you might not be able to become Christian 13 times in a sense, because there are some views where it's like once saved, always saved. The quote unquote eternal security is what they call it. I mean, I'm not sure if I would believe in that myself, because I'm like I said, I've kind of got my beliefs challenged, especially since I don't have some certain things on my document talking about these things. I actually forgot, but the reason why I believe certain these things and stuff. So I do have some notes in my small Luther's catechism, because I was doing some getting taught by my pastor and stuff. But VBS was, you went to VBS too? Oh my gosh, no, it is so fun. I went on some of the escapes they did too later when I was older. But now I mean, I think actually they're actually coming to town very soon. Like I think next week, or something, next week or the week after, and they're coming in. That's why I was Calvinist. The Calvinist isn't once saved always saved, is it? I mean, I thought it was like an evangelical thing, not a Calvinist thing, because Calvinist is more like all 5 points. I forgot what like the 5 points were, but like I remember, like, I just remember hearing some stuff 5 points Calvinist. I mean, I have a lot to learn, but like I've certainly heard of 5 point Calvinism. I think it's 4 point Calvinism and 5 point Calvinism. I think. I wonder if Redeemed Zoomer is 5 point Calvinism, because I like Redeemed Zoomer. He's a Presbyterian, so I think Calvinists are Presbyterian. I think generally. I mean, I don't think you have to be Presbyterian to be Calvinist, because Calvinist is more like, maybe it's, I don't know, like. I'm not like, I need to watch more Redeemed Zoomer videos so I can learn about the denominations. That's all 20 points of Tulip. Hold on. Let me look that up real quick. Hold on. Tulip. Perseverance of the Saints. Perseverance of the Saints. What does that even mean? Like, Perseverance of the Saints. Calvinist acronym. 5 points. Okay. Oh, those are the 5 points. Okay. Total depravity. Okay. Total depravity. All humans are completely corrupted by sin in all aspects of life, because humanity is dead in its trespasses. No one can independently choose to follow God. No one can independently choose to follow God or save themselves. Well, I don't think we can save themselves by that. I mean, ourselves. But I think that we can. I think that we. I mean, we might be able to choose to follow God. I mean, I'm not. I don't know for sure though. I've actually got a good explanation. Like, actually, I went looking at my comments of my videos again, and I actually saw just a totally like a comment that I was like total like a it was like a total sleeper comment. It was like I've already responded to it, but like I literally like, it was such a good comment. It was talking about like because of the Romans 9, because the very well known infamous Romans 9 predestination chapter, is saying, yeah, I was gonna say one say always. I mean, I guess it kind of is, because like I guess it could be considered that. I mean, I usually consider once saved always saved more of a what's it called? Yeah, evangelical view. But I mean, I guess it could be considered that too. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess if you are chosen by God to be saved, then you will always be saved or something. But I mean, used for unconditional election, God's choice of who's saved is based on his own merit, so sovereign will, non-foreseen faith, merit, condition, condition in the individuals themselves. Sorry, it's hard to speak. I'm gonna try to speak slower. Hold on. Limited atonement, also called the particular redemption, it is the belief that Jesus Christ's sacrificial death was intended specifically to secure the salvation of the elect, rather than making salvation possible for every single person in the world. Irresistible grace. When God chooses to save someone, his grace is effectively applied to their heart and will. It overcomes their natural resistance, assuring they will freely come to faith. I don't know how it's freely, but P. Perseverance of the saints. Those who whom God has called, He will and saved will never lose their salvation. God preserves believers, ensuring they will continue in faith and be in sin. Okay, that's yeah, that is kind of what they've always said. Actually, right? You're totally right. Okay, like I said, I have to look more into like my own, like just my beliefs and see what denomination fits best. I did that for like the first ever denomination I really did that with. I think was probably Lutheranism, because I consider myself Baptist at some point, but like that was just because like I didn't know as much about theology then, so like I think I just and then I became like I guess that was like Lutheran and stuff, and now I don't know what I have to look into stuff more. I absolutely hate not being able to like literally not being able to like figure out what the heck I even believe, because like well not knowing it, like not being able to figure out not knowing it. I mean like just not knowing the specifics of like the essential doctrine, right? Of like whether Christ is present in the Eucharist / communion, or whether baptism saves you, and if so, how does baptism save you? If it's more of a metaphorical thing, if it's more of a literal thing, like you get actually salvation by that. I mean, those are stuff I need to know. Whether you don't become a Calvinist. Yeah, I mean, I kind of believed in predestination at some point. At one point, just for like a couple, maybe like a day. I was kind of scared at that point because I did not like it. I was like, dang, it was really uncomfortable. But then I saw like something that kind of like I talked to a friend or whatever, and they kind of like alleviated that. They kind of like brought up a good verse I thought was good. But I mean, I think I have a video on predestination too, like why like arguments against predestination or arguing against Romans 9, but specifically, I guess. But like, I may have not been a good one, so I might actually have to update that. Because I was doing, because it was apparently it was like this parallel in like Jeremiah or something, but I don't know if that actually helped my point now that I think about it. But I mean, the thing that the guy actually gave, like the comment, actually was pretty good. It was literally just talking about. I mean, it was talking about like it was talking about specifically. It was about the God. It was talking about how God like sorry. It was talking about how God with the Israelites. It was talking about the Israelites and the Gentiles. It was talking about specifically those two, and the Romans 9 in the context of that. So like it's talking about how God like hardened the heart of like the Israelites so that the Gentiles could be saved or something like that. I mean something like that. I mean I think that was what it was. The comment had to do something like that. So I mean, and I thought now I looked at before I wasn't. I don't think how convinced I was at that, but now I look at it and I was like, dang, that's actually really good. So I mean, but yeah, I don't want to become a Calvinist. I really don't like that idea. I mean, I'd be more okay with predestination specifically if universalism was true, because like I was talking with some people on VR chat, because I play VR chat and stuff. I was talking with people on there, like I met some universalists there, and they actually basically almost convinced me. Like I just wanted to do more research just to make sure, but they basically convinced me almost basically of universalism. But they also believe like they in predestination and stuff too. But I mean, I'm not sure if I would believe in predestination. I would have to do more research into that too, because I mean, because they believe that doesn't mean I'm going to believe that. I would have to do more research into that, but if predestination is true and universalism is true, Christian universalism is, then I mean, the type of universalism they believed was like if you're not like originally saved, if you're not Christian in this life, like you die and then you go to hell for and stuff, and like for I think a certain amount of time. I think I might be saying this wrong, and then like because the Bible says like every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess Jesus Christ is Lord. So then at the point people do that, just everything, and when Jesus and they do that, and so because what you have to do to be saved is like you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart and confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord, and thou shalt be saved. So I mean, and their kind of argument was like that because they say that, I think then they'll be saved and stuff. There's other Bible verses they have too for that, so that's not the only thing they mentioned, but that's one of the things. But I mean, I have to do more research into it myself. I have to like write down some of the arguments for that, and I'll have to ask about predestination. Man, I'm excited. I want to do this, bro. I really want to like figure this stuff out so I can actually help people more specifically on like the specific views within Christianity. Because how can I help people if I don't even know where I'm at when it comes to like at least specific doctrine? I mean, I can maybe help people a bit on Christian apologetics, perhaps. But I mean, just because I am Christian still, of course, and praise the Lord. But yeah, I mean, I guess I'm already going on an hour. There's probably like this is so far. I mean, pretty good stream so far. I didn't know I could even stream this long, but it's because I have some. I'm gonna say the reason why the stream is this long is probably because of you, man. Because you're giving me the motivation and everything to do this. So I've had a good conversation. I mean, plus also I guess I have this video too. But I mean, who cares about the video? This is way more entertaining. Oh yeah. Predestination would definitely be an easier pill to swallow if universalism was true. What kind of blows my mind is that people think most people go to hell forever. Predestination is true. Well, I don't know if sure most people think that predestination is true because that's specifically kind of like Lutherans believe in like single predestination, which I'm not sure if that's true, but like I'm not sure, but like the double predestination of Presbyterians, but that's not most. Because a lot of Catholics is very big, and I'm not sure they believe in that. But people going to hell forever. I mean, that's. I mean, I don't. I mean, a bit of people might believe that. I'm not sure how many though, but I will say that there are people who believe who are annihilationists who believe that people will be just annihilated in hell too, or people who believe that people in hell forever. There's infernalists. People believe that people will be in hell forever and in flames. Well, I guess that might not be the only thing about infernalists. It might be just more like just people being in hell that would be flames in hell. But then there's like the people who believe like they'll be in outer darkness or people away from God's presence forever. Then there's like the annihilationists, and then there's like the universalists and stuff. So I mean, there is a bit of different views, and it's kind of interesting how the diverse things. Also, by the way, but yeah, I was just kind of like I guess minor nitpick. I mean, maybe it's not minor. I don't know, but like it's just kind of. I just wanted to specify because like I try to be more careful. I mean, I'm not perfect at this, but I try to be more careful with what I do because I try not to like generalize this subject or try to make big arching claims that I mean I might still make mistakes here and there, but like I try not to make like stuff like that where it's like I mean I might if I do make that kind of thing, I'll say, well, I'm not a professional, I don't actually have this, or I don't have the statistics here, so take that with a grain of salt. I just try to do that. I mean, you don't have to, but I mean it would be nice if I mean you can do that if you want. I mean it would be a good idea. I meant to say that there are people, Calvinists mostly, who think that most people go to hell, and that way, the way it is narrow, and that God predestines it that way. I mean, I do think even if predestination was true, you might be able to like make some arguments for like, I guess the morality of it, because I guess the morality of it would depend on God, right? So if that's true, then the morality God would say the morality of that. But at the same time, though, I mean, personally, I would not like that at all. Like if that's true, I would honestly like, it'd be a hard pill to swallow even for me. Like I would not want like most people go to hell and have it just be like, yeah, God's idea. Like most people go to hell, but I guess the idea of that how if I was a Calvinist, of course I'm not a Calvinist, but like if I was a Calvinist, I would probably try to defend that if I was gonna defend it. Not actually defending that here because like I mean I don't believe that, but I mean currently, but if I was to defend it, just try to steel man the position, would be like, as Roman 9 does say, like kind of says like it's like something has to do with the objects of God's mercy to show the objects of his mercy. I forgot what it was. It was someone else in Romans 9. Most people believe that it's thankfully not true. Yeah. Thankfully that is not true. Yeah. I mean, well, I guess if it is, well, I mean I mean I would say I would be more relieved if predestination just isn't true rather than if most people don't believe it, but just because like God doesn't care what you think is true in this sense, like because whether it's true or not is not relevant upon whether enough people think it's true. But I mean, yeah, I mean, that's why I would be more concerned if like God says like, well, whether it's actually biblically true or not, right? If it's biblically true or not, that matters more to me than whether people think it's true or not. But I mean, I would also hope people wouldn't think that if it's not true, then I would hope people wouldn't think it is true then. But like, I would just kind of go with that. I would just kind of want people to believe what is true rather. But I mean. But yeah, I mean, do you have any, just out of curiosity, you can type in the chat. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I won't be too long, but I just got to kind of, be real quick about it, because I drank some water too recently. But yeah, when Paul Rose brings up the question, how does God find fault when no one can resist his will? I mean, how does God find fault if no one can resist his will? I mean, because I think that was talked about in the context of Romans 9, was talking about like, well, Israel and the Gentiles not individual people, I think. I mean, I did mention the hardening heart of Pharaoh, but I think that's talking about like hardening the heart. I mean, I'm not sure what the hardening heart of Pharaoh would be like. I mean, because I'm not sure. Like, if he endures the vessels, if he endures the vessels of his wrath prepared for destruction in order to make known his mercy on the vessels of mercy. Yeah. I mean, there's that. Yeah. I mean, that was the verse. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you pulled the words right out of my brain. Okay, it wasn't in my brain, but you got it. yeah, could that be reconciled with what the guy said on the comment, like about like it being about the Gentiles and about being about the Jews? I mean, this is a wrath. This was a wrath being the Gentiles prepared for destruction in order to make known, prepared for, in order to make known his mercy on the vessels of his mercy. Could be like, it's actually really tough here. Actually, hold on, because I'm not sure if that comment would it could be like, I'm not sure how true that is. I have to look more into it, like for destruction in order to make known his mercy on the vessels of his mercy, which would probably be like, I would think everybody. I mean, I would love to see an actual, like, if you can find like a freaking video of that, or if I could find a video of like explaining what this guy in the comments said, or explaining that, I would love to find a video, because I really hope predestination is not true. Like, it's like it's one, it's just something I don't like, you know. But like, I don't know. It's just I freaking don't like predestination. This is my Calvinist conditioning, but I've always thought that it would. I always thought that was a really hard passage to understand, as talking about nations rather than individuals. Yeah, I mean, I have to look into it too. I'll look into it probably after. Actually, uh, maybe I can look into it like later in the stream. It's getting late, but I mean, I could still, I'll still be streaming for a little bit on. Kind of hard to escape the Calvinist interpretation of that one. Yeah, I know, and I hate that it's so hard to do that. I mean, I don't want to be accused of doing mental gymnastics here, but like, I really don't want to believe that. I mean, if it's true, it's true, and I'll try to find some way of like justifying it in my mind if it is true. But that is if it's true, and I guess the more I don't want to believe something, the more I'm gonna like try to look into it to like make sure it is really is true before I believe it. You know, like I was pretty skeptical on universalism, right? I mean, like I was really skeptical of that. You know, I really wanted evidence for that, and like one of the dudes on VR explained to me beautifully, like with like. Now, of course, I heard the dude does what I did hear some things about him, but like I wasn't sure. I'm not sure if those are true or not. I heard he did like does change his views a lot, or has in the past. I mean, that doesn't mean he's wrong here though, but it would make me question whether like how well he actually looked into it. But at the same time, I mean, I've changed my views a bit too, just because like I've been doing more research, and maybe he hadn't done a bunch of research before, and now he's doing research. I mean, I don't know, so I don't really know the context of what to it. So I mean, but he could be totally like. I mean, he could totally be right. I mean, if predestination is true, I would please God. If predestination is true, please have universalism be true too in Jesus' name I pray, man. Please, please. But like, yeah, it is kind of. I'm going to the bathroom. You could like Oh yeah, I would also what made you? You can like answer in the chat and stuff. I'll go to the bathroom and come back real quick. I won't be too long. Just like maybe like type in like why you became like a agnostic, or if you really are agnostic. I mean, I don't know, like if you, because like we were joking earlier about something, but like but yeah, if you're agnostic or whatever you are, like if you're not Christian now, like just maybe explain like maybe why you're not. I'm curious. I'm honestly curious, but I'll go to the bathroom. I'll be back. Hold on. Mute my mic real quick. I'll come back in a second. didn't mean on. Yeah, I think it's just still working. It should be still working. Okay. So I would say that I just came to find it so implausible that the Bible was in any way divinely inspired text. Okay. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it's implausible. How'd you come to find out it's implausible? Like, what was like something that's like I'll continue this video too, but like I'll check every like couple like maybe like every like 30 seconds or something like that to see it. If it more the more I read, the more I saw it was a collection of man-made texts that show a developing and sometimes conflicting view of divine power. Okay, I just lost any sense if I have anything. Then okay, I mean, do you have any examples on my? I mean, I know this is like I know that's kind of like a big ask, but like, do you have any like examples of that? Because I'm curious. I'm honestly pretty curious about that. I mean, because you're talking about like how it's like it seems you saw it as a collection of man-made texture developing and sometimes conflicting view of divine power. Conflicting view about divine power. Why would it be why would it be developing and conflicting? Interesting that you say that. Okay, that's interesting. I was thinking about what you said more of it. Just kind of. Yeah, I try to get, yeah, I would love that one. I'll continue like we're doing this video, and when you come up with something, I'll check the channel, I'll just read it, and I'll just stop like I have been doing.
Creates the impression that there are so many closeted Republicans is insane. The actual percentage is very hard to measure, but the impression is not hard to measure. The impression, the extremism, the nonsense of it is not hard to measure at all. I think a lot of this comes from this deep misunderstanding of what being conservative even means. The internet sometimes acts like every Republican is a cartoon evangelical culture warrior. In reality, there are gay Republicans, bisexual Republicans,
Yeah.
libertarians, economically conservative people, military conservatives, closeted people, openly married gay conservatives, and people who disagree with parts of the party while still voting Republican. That's the whole thing. Because
Hey, okay, I'm not gonna lie, he's totally right. He's got on the money so far. My goodness, yeah, he's totally. It's kind of what I said earlier. It's a really being on the right can be really diverse. There's a lot of diverse opinions on the right. I mean, can't say it is as much of the same on the left because on the left, like you kind of get shamed if you have like a different view. I mean, and stuff. So I mean, on the right, you'll probably get shamed if you're gay. Like depending on depending on like the person or like the background of like the family. More like your family would do that if for that. And I think that's kind of sad because I think I do have a problem with like when people like um like when their family like will just kind of what was it was like just kind of be mean to them and like I guess abuse them in some ways because they're gay or like or they'll just like disown them because they're gay. That's pretty sad, especially if it's a Christian household too, because like then they're really not being like I don't think godly because like you should still love your child even if they like aren't Christian and stuff. I would think. So I mean, but yeah. So like I'm pretty convinced that the God depicted in the Old Testament, even in the Gospels, is just fundamentally different than the conception of the God present in Paul's epistles like Romans. Okay, so you think Old Testament and the Gospels. So do you think that okay? Are you saying that the Old Testament God and then the Gospel God and or the Old Testament God is different from the Gospel God, and then the Gospel God is different from the Paul's epistles and Romans God? Is that what you're saying? I don't think I've ever heard this before. This is interesting. This might be new. This might be really new. Okay. All right. Oh dang. I mean, I don't exactly know how it would be different. I mean, I think this is still the same God. Because I mean, I want you to keep in mind though that the God of the Old Testament is operating under an old covenant, right? He's behaving a certain way because of the covenant. I think. Could be wrong here, but because like the promise was not yet fulfilled, you know, there was a different way of solving sins and stuff. It was still different. And I think if you had a man-made text, the farther back your time you go, the more likely it is that the text would produce a view of morality that is incompatible with recent views. Well, with more, what do you mean more recent? More recent biblical views, more recent views within the thing itself, or more recent views of society? Because I don't, might want to be specific on that. I mean, just because like the specifics would really make things a lot more clear. Whereas in a divinely inspired text, the morality should be remain stable and insofar as it reflects God's attitudes. I mean, Jesus did still. I mean, there was things where like adultery, like was thought was wrong, adultery and stuff like that, and murder. But Jesus clarified that actually, if you commit adultery in your heart, and if you lust after a woman, you commit adultery with her in your heart. And if you have wrath, or if you're angry with a brother, you commit murder or something in your heart. Within the biblical text. Okay. Internal critique. Okay, those are more fair. Yeah. I think that, I mean, I'm not sure if there's any specific examples that would stand out to me as like the morality being different in a sense that couldn't be explained by just like the covenant perhaps just being different, because people now, Christians now and Jews now that become Christians no longer have to like abide by certain laws that the Jews were given, or maybe these Christians now. I'm not sure about the Jews because they're still Jews, but like because God gave the Jews certain rules and stuff to follow. Yeah, I actually don't think the Jews have to follow them anymore, but I think, but like because like there's the ceremonial laws, there's different types of laws. The Old Testament views slavery seems compatible with New Testament. Okay, that's okay. This is actual. I'm surprised I didn't think of this example actually. But like yeah, I mean, slavery seems compatible with New Testament values. Well, I guess that would go with like why we'd have to look into like why God talked about like slavery in that way and what God meant by that. I would say the Old Testament conquest where Israel was ordered to wipe out entire cities, explicitly including women, children, seem compatible as well. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how that part would be incompatible, but like maybe I mean I can see the thing. I can understand more though when it comes to like the slavery thing being different. I mean the New Testament does like talk about still, but like the doesn't specifically come like I don't know, like it doesn't like sorry, what was the word, obviously like explicitly come out and say slavery bad, but at the same time it does like say that, like it does say, I think, what does it say? It does talk about like there's no or slave, no free, no Jew, no Gentile, all is one in Jesus Christ. But here's the thing: Christ didn't come yet, right? In the Old Testament, Christ wasn't there yet. Christ didn't die for people's sins yet to unite them like that. So back then it was still different because, like I said, it was under an old covenant. Well, do you think killing babies is immoral? Well, I mean, that would go to whether killing is immoral, right? I mean, are we talking about murdering babies? Like, because babies would be. I mean, depends on how you consider like if babies are innocent or not. But like some people might think people are guilty of Adam's sin from birth. Some people. I mean, I personally don't think people are guilty of like necessarily the first sin of Adam. I think people are like this, that they're affected by it though with this in nature. Do I think killing babies is immoral though? To go to the question though, not to like hop around it. I mean, for who though? Because okay, this goes like a very philosophical question. I mean, for at least for at least humans, just killing babies is immoral. I would say for sure. I mean, for God, it could possibly be a different story. I mean, because here's the thing, God, in a sense, I mean, depending on your view, right? Because if you believe in predestination, right? I mean, I'm not saying you do. Obviously, you said you don't because you're not Christian. But like, if someone believes in predestination, in that case, they would believe that God. Actually, not sure if you believe. I guess depending on the extent of predestination, if they believe in free will, or not, might believe that God affects everything. I'm not even sure. But I'm kind of, my brain's breaking right now. I'm sorry, because I'm just thinking of so many things at once so fast. It's just kind of like breaking me, you know. But like, because I'm trying to like answer. I'm trying to answer the question as best I can, because like because there's a lot of things to think about when it comes to like that. I mean, when it comes to like a philosophical standpoint, you know, if you're not just going by like do you think killing babies is bad? Well, because I personally I do think killing babies is bad, but like for specifically for humans, for God, I wouldn't be so sure. Like I mean, I would be open to the possibility of like because of course like because people say God is good. I mean, but according to what standard, of course, would be the question, you know. So I guess the big dispute would be, well, does God have to follow his own rules? Is God good because he has to follow his own rules, or is God good because he's the arbiter of morality and stuff? And that's kind of like, no, it's okay. It's just like it's good. I mean, it's good to see people like, you know. I'm trying to, you know, answer the question honestly, try to actually figure out the philosophical things of it. But like, I mean, it's okay. Like, I mean, I don't have to, because I'm not the same as those. I don't want to sound like, okay, I don't want to sound like the tax collector in the Bible that's like, oh, I'm not like those sinners over there. I'm not trying to say that. But like, what I'm trying to say is like, I'm not. My channel is less about like doing like gotcha moments and like being I mean, as cool as it would be to see him super cool and get like a good mic drop moment, I'm less about that and more trying to help people come to Christ, more help people like keep strengthening the faith in Christ, and just just like interacting with people who disagree with me and kind of had doing the debates and stuff like that too, and stuff like that. I mean, it's more about that, and also about honestly and oh, doing like honest apologetics and stuff, not just like what was it, not just like throwing around like saying this is a fallacy or this is this or this is that, just to kind of like look cool. I can share my views. I just feel like the New Testament's gospel of mercy and forgiveness is not compatible with wiping out entire cities, school babies. I mean, is this the New Testament stuff like this happening? I think. Well, here's the thing. Like the people in the New Testament constantly like use the Old Testament. Like Paul would like use the Old Testament. They would mention like the scriptures of the Old Testament because they would use those scriptures in their lessons, and they would actually quote those scriptures and stuff when it comes to like what they're doing. I mean, I wouldn't think that would be different because I know you don't really see people getting wiped out in the New Testament, but the New Testament, keep in mind, the New Testament is something that happens over like maybe like 33 years of time, right? Like 30 or so years of time, not some, or maybe a little after that too. Maybe like not even 100 years of time. The Old Testament spans hundreds, if not thousands, of years of time period. So there's much more time to actually go into war, and it's about generally how the history of Israel and going to war and stuff. The New Testament is less about war because its focus is more on like, of course, like you said, the mercy and Jesus. Focus more on the New Testament because it is the new covenant, right? It is the new covenant. And it's focusing on like Jesus and stuff and what he brings rather than the war and stuff, because it wasn't about war as much, because it wasn't like a book about talking about that kind of thing, right? So Bible Smith, Joseph Smith quotes. Well, Joseph Smith quotes the Bible. I mean, okay, that's an interesting point you make too. I mean, Joseph Smith quotes the Bible. Well, Joseph Smith is a very obvious false prophet. I would say, well, because it's not obvious, but he's a false prophet just because like, let's see, like he basically. I forgot why. Dang it! My apologetics. No, my elite ball knowledge is failing me, guys. Bro, my elite ball knowledge is failing me. But like, just because like I can't remember all the things it's a lot to remember because I've like talked with Mormons before, and I've like tried to do a little anti-Mormon apologetics too, but like I just got a lot. I have like a lot to like remember and stuff, so that's kind of why I'm just getting stuck on the memory thing. But yeah, I mean. But I guess I would go into more, I guess, an argument, like, I guess, on, like, whether the Gospels are just twisted the scriptures or not, right? I mean, and everything. I mean, or whether they were clarifying and stuff. I mean, but I guess that'd be really hard to prove, probably, in my opinion. But like, I guess you could. I guess if you go on like actually, I guess no, it wouldn't be too hard to prove. I guess if you, for me, a lot, I wouldn't have the resources, or not resources. I wouldn't have like the knowledge to prove. I wouldn't have the elite knowledge to prove it at this very second. But like, I think there are examples of things in the Gospels where things happen where like if they were just making it up or just making this kind of stuff up, at least they would like they wouldn't have said that if they were just making it. If they're making it up, they wouldn't have just said that. But and then we bring another point about the development of the Old Testament to the New Testament. Um, I think the Jewish communities had a very valid reason to reject Jesus based on the Old Testament text. He did not fulfill what the Old Testament says the Messiah would fulfill. I think it. I think it. I think it. It might. I think. I mean, okay. This is interesting too. I've heard of this too. So I think Paul was a false prophet from the perspective of a faithful Jew. I mean, I don't think any Paul's like prophecies didn't come true. I mean, I think I saw a video actually about Paul. Actually, I think I saw a video today actually about like Paul being actually not a false prophet. Kind of, it was like I was just watching it, but like for like entertainment purposes, just because apologetics purposes possibly. But yeah, I mean, okay, so should we talk about like Jesus being the Messiah? We can talk about like I guess what things like did let's just start with like the Paul. What why would Paul be a false prophet specifically? Would you do you know? Hmm. Um, I'll just give you the video. You like you put your thing in. I'll just like respond like I was saying like the usual times.
Some people either there are a lot of gay people that don't like trans people. That's a whole thing. And they say we're not a part of the group if you're doing that, and then you ostracize them, and then they really don't like trans people because they feel like the T should be separate from the LGB. And some people feel like the B should be separated in some points because they're being picky and selfish. It's disgusting. How dare you?
This is saying picky and selfish, but like I mean that's for the bisexual thing. I think it meant more perspective of false teachings rather than prophesizing in control. Oh, prophecies. Okay. False teachings. Okay. I mean, false teachings according like to like what? Because like, keep in mind there is the new covenant there's a new covenant in the old covenant according to like that. So I mean, how would it be false teaching? Because like unless we're talking about like because like I don't see how you could like a false teaching inconsistent with the Old Testament text. Well, yeah, that was inconsistent because like people, well, to some extent, I mean, possibly because like it's not going to be the same just because like this is the New Testament, sorry, new covenant we're talking about. We're not talking about the same. We're talking about like, a promise that was fulfilled, right? A new promise. So things do change. I mean, when it comes to like how things are going, not everything has to be the same. Now, of course, I would have specific examples of like how his isn't consistent. But, like if you want to share like how you think Jesus didn't fulfill certain prophecies, or Paul, like if how he was different, how he was inconsistent with the Old Testament text, and why that means he was a false prophet. I mean, I would love to hear that. Also going on with what the video guy said too, just kind of yeah, some people do want to like some of the LGBTQ people want to like separate the LGB from the TQ plus, like I was probably saying earlier, just because like they don't agree with it. I don't think it's being selfish, but I think he's talking about the bi people specifically. But like what was I gonna say? I mean, what would be very good for that? I think the way I would approach it is if you read the Old Testament and list out all the things that it says the Messiah will do, and the Gospels check off everything Jesus does. I mean, keep in mind also that Jesus hasn't like fulfilled every prophecy probably yet, because like he said he was gonna like come back and stuff, because like as stuff will happen probably there too, because there might be prophecies that aren't fulfilled yet too, so you gotta be careful of those too. But I mean, if there's prophecies that he just like I don't know, like I mean I wouldn't. I mean, I don't want to chalk up to like all the, or just because I don't want to say it, chalk it up to like, oh well, if there's prophecy that Jesus didn't fulfill in the Old Testament, that's because it just hasn't happened yet. I don't want to like go wait to that conclusion, but it's a possibility. I just want to put that out there. That'll be a very good percentage. Okay, of a good percentage of what, like of like the of prophecies that Jesus fulfills, or like the of the LGBTQ people that don't like the TQ, like the LGBT people that don't like the TQ plus. The second coming was not predicted in the Old Testament. I mean, not particularly, no, that's true. But like, I'm not specifically talking about Jesus coming back again. But there might be things that are talked about that would happen once Jesus comes back again. You know, and that's just what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, well, the Old Testament says Jesus coming back or whatever. He hasn't come back yet. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I'm just more like saying, you know, if there's something like the New Jerusalem, or if there's something like that, right, in the Old Testament, you know, talk about that. I mean, that might not happen, of course, till Jesus comes back, right? But I'm just saying if there's stuff that would, you know, the very existence of the theological idea that the second coming confirms, or existence of the theological idea that of the second coming confirms what I'm saying here. It was not that he did not fulfill a lot of Old Testament prophecies about the Messiah. Well, I don't see why like just the fact that Jesus will come back would mean that Jesus did not fulfill or did not fulfill prophecies. I mean, he could fulfill he could have fulfilled all the prophecies and have come back. I don't see why that's a specific thing that isn't. Wouldn't see that why why that'd be an issue personally. I mean,
You want both things. Choose one. Pick one flavor of ice cream. Yeah, that's me. Human beings
Oh yeah, oh
regularly
yeah. I
join.
was gonna say also about like the video too, like about the LGBTQ like TQ plus not being the LGBT people not wanting the TQ plus people to be in their group. I mean, to me, it doesn't make a ton of sense because I don't know like what the point. It would depend on what the point of the acronym LGBTQ plus is supposed to be, because originally it started out as sexualities and then it got moved into gender stuff, and I don't know why the gender stuff was lumped in with the sexualities. It just doesn't make sense to me. I was thinking about that earlier, just personally. But the reason why he has to come is to fulfill the prophecies that he didn't fulfill. Or I say, oh, I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe he did fulfill the prophecy. I don't know. What's like maybe like an example like a prophecy like if you want like he didn't fulfill it. Okay, the logical position the second coming exists is this is based on unfulfilled OT prophecy. I mean, I think you're looking at it from like a secular lens, like as to like why why the gospel officers would need to like have him have a second coming, right? But like I mean, maybe the second coming is in the Old Testament. I was just thinking. I had an idea. It wasn't. I don't know too much of the scripture, but it was like talking about like, I'll be like God in the, it would be my people or something. Like, I'm not sure if that's what I'm thinking. Of. Hold on. This is really fun though. I'm having a good time. So well, thank you for also dropping in. This is awesome. Uh. I, compress the first and second. Coming as a single narrative. Early readers can often meld the Christ sufferings. Okay, so it says apparently. Now I keep the table with a grain of salt. This is Google. I'm just looking up to do some. I'm not just gonna use Google. I'm gonna look at websites too probably, but we just generalize how the Old Testament depicts Messiah. It was going to liberate Israel, restore the nation, and introduce a golden age with all the nations. Actually, wait a minute. What you said though with the golden age with all the nations, that reminds me of like Christ's second coming. That like about the millennial reign. That actually reminds me of that when I think about it. It just kind of that just came to mind when I was seeing that. Liberate Israel, yeah. I mean, I think the apostles did talk about like because about the liberating Israel thing because it was actually to liberate Israel maybe from sin, not particularly maybe it was like to liberate Israel from like the enemies with the millennial reign, one of those two things. I mean, I'm not like a scholar, so I don't like know everything. Obviously, know that happened. I mean, yeah, well, these Israel at the center. I mean, I think that's how maybe that's how the New Jerusalem or something. I mean, I could see it being. I could still see it kind of having a possibility of doing with like the second coming or doing when Jesus comes back. I mean, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, it would be that, yeah. I don't see the contentious point there. I mean, unless you're saying like, well, they had to come up with, unless you're saying that they can't that they made this narrative up because that's what they needed to be because Jesus didn't fulfill those prophecies. But at the same time, I mean that doesn't mean that. I mean, I think it'd be kind of, but then you'd have to kind of prove that like, well, that's what the original scriptures meant by that they actually didn't mean that the Jesus would come back and that was like coming. But like, well, it just wouldn't happen until the second coming, only theologically after he died. Interesting. Okay, after he died. I mean, that would be more like what John wrote about that, but technically his apostle. It was one of his apostles, kind of at least according to the tradition that came up with that. It was in the Old Testament. It was just what the smile was supposed to do. Well, yeah, but like, I mean, John had like the visions and stuff too, like this. So like that's kind of where he got it from. That did come from one of the apostles, like the apostle John, I think. Was he an apostle? Yeah, Mark. I mean, John was like one of the big people in there, like well, the gospel writers anyway. Maybe not like but he was one of the gospel writers and stuff. He probably, I mean, I'm not sure if he knew the apostles, but he probably did. I mean, if he was an apostle, he did. I mean, my mind's not working too now. It's kind of late, so my brain's kind of a little foggy right now. But yeah, I mean, like, I mean, I don't see why any of this would mean like definitively or make it so like it's a really really high chance of like the New Testament being so if I'm a faithful Jew and all I have is the Old Testament, and someone comes along along and says they're the Messiah, wouldn't I be corrected to judge against the Old Testament prophecies? Oh, interesting point. Wouldn't I be correct to judge against the wouldn't I be correct to judge against the Old Testament prophecies about what he would do? What do you mean? Like, are you saying like, when I judge against the Old Testament, if we do all have the Old Testament, and someone comes along and says they're the Messiah, wouldn't I be correct to judge against? Judge against the Old Testament prophecies what he would do? I mean, yeah, but like at the same time, though, that would be like assuming though that you had perfect understanding of what the Old Testament prophecies mean, and exactly like what happens, because at the same time, God was probably holding some secret ball knowledge, or like, because there was a new covenant and stuff too. I mean, I'm not sure the Jews knew. The Jews were still the Jews. The Jews may have not have known exactly what was going to happen with like the sin thing, like when the new covenant happened, like where like I think it was, I'm not sure if it was like Abraham or Moses. I think it was Abraham, like where like he was put to sleep by God, and then God walked. They were doing a covenant thing where like they like spread a bunch of animal parts across everything across the path, and then God put Abraham to sleep and then walked through it to signify a covenant, a new covenant. Oh, sorry, a promise, not a new covenant, but a promise that 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 if Abraham, or if the Jews broke that covenant, if the Jews broke the promise, then God would be the one to have to pay for it, and that's kind of what Jesus did on the cross. That kind of fulfills that prophecy of like Jesus paid for our penalties on the cross. He paid for like a, because the Jews broke like the covenant, possibly. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I have to like look more into the specifics of it and take notes on this so I can actually come up with more specific examples and just being really vague like this. I'm sorry, that'd be kind of vague and not coming up with like not bringing up specific examples. I could look it up too if you want. But I mean, that's what I think anyway of it. Bring it back to the that's kind of open air. Let me just go back to the video real quick. I'll just like say what you said and say, like I keep
Join
saying.
groups that do not fully love them back. That happens all the time. History is filled with that. Workers who stay in racist unions, feminists who stay in transphobic organizations, religious believers who disagree with half the doctrine.
Feminists are saying transphobic organizations. How would that? I'm confused on how that's like conflicting. But
People stay because leaving means losing community. The belonging is who stay in transphobic organizations, religious believers who disagree with half the doctrine. People stay because leaving means losing community.
He's making the claim that people, Christian, like a lot of religious people or big religious people, don't leave because we mean losing the community. That's a possibility, but it's not like Islam, at least, where like, the penalty is kind of like, as far as I know, like for Islamist law, it's apostasy is death. So, but I mean, it's like, I mean, you lose the community, sure, but at the same time, I mean, if they're Christian, you shouldn't be like, I mean, you should still be, loving people and be gentle with people when you're like, I don't know, when you're like, do stuff like that. Good thoughts. Yeah, good thoughts. Wait, good thoughts on what I said, what I'm saying now, or like what I was saying about like what you were saying. Right? I don't think it proves anything for me, but for me, it does make it significantly less probable that the Bible was true. But that's my own. Okay, well, yes, that kind of my point. I guess it would make it maybe less probable. But at the same time, it's really hard to prove that. So I mean, that's kind of what I was contending. But I'm glad that you brought it up though, just because like it's interesting to me anyway. Like, I mean, it's kind of hard to prove that, but thanks for bringing it up, man. I mean, do you have any other any topics you want to talk about though? I mean, do you have any like apologetics things? Anything you want to talk about LGBTQ stuff? Where do you stand on LGBTQ? You want to talk about like where you stand on abortion? What do you want to talk about? Where you stand? Okay, so, or you want to continue on like with the Bible stuff? Oh, you gotta go. Okay, well that's okay. Well, I mean, I kind of want to end stream soon because it's kind of late too for me. So, I appreciate the discussion. I subscribe. I'll try to check out some of your other videos. I hope to catch you again. Thank you so much for being with me on this journey. It was awesome. Can't wait. If you comment on some of my videos, I would love to say hi. If you come to my other streams too, if I continue on streaming on YouTube, I would also love to like see you there too and have conversations with you all, continuing and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much. God bless you, man. Alright. Alright, let's continue with the... I don't even know if I should react to more of this video. Going to the point too as well. Just want to mention, I know that the person left, but like, I guess there's probably like where, the day of the Lord prophets like Joel 2:1 and 2:11 and Malachi 3:1 to 30 tell for a son. Oh no, that's not the. No, Son of Man, Daniel 7:13 to 14 visions, one like a Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven, who is given an everlasting dominion, glory, and a sovereign kingdom over all nations. That does kind of sound like Revelation, though, to be honest. I mean, I wish all bathwater all along was so here. It's about developing this community, and also hope that you have an amazing journey studying, and figuring out where you stand on different places. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I hope I find that stuff out too. You seem like a great, honest guy. I try to be, man. I try to be. I'm not the best at it, something. I have my own biases, but I mean, I'll try. And I think that serves anyone as well as they are in the pursuit of truth. Thank you. Thank you. I think you'll enjoy it here in the community. I mean, I think you'll enjoy it. Hopefully other people will come to the stream too and you'll be able to interact with them too, and hopefully we have a good community here and stuff. But I mean, today was great. You made my day today, bro. You made my day joining my stream, bro. Not gonna lie. It was so fun talking. So you have a good rest of your day. But keep in mind, Daniel 7:13-14, one like a Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, who is given an everlasting kingdom of glory, sovereign kingdom over all nations. That could be an example of like something like the second coming. But yeah, anyway, something to think about. We have a good day. Yippee! Have a good day, man. Yeah, you too.
The belonging is worth more than consistency to most humans. How can you go to church and believe in loving one another, but you don't even love yourself? Yeah, I know that. That's true. That's just what it is. Consistency is a luxury for people who have somewhere else to go, so they can be consistent. But that's the issue. I think nobody talks about the fact that shame can distort behavior. When people are...
Well, this is the entire reason why people are Christian, because people... It's not like all Christian, like... I mean, there are people who deconvert from Christianity too, so I mean, like, if he's... I know he's not saying, like, probably all Christians and stuff, but he's saying, I guess, certain people, but, like... This is not representative probably of, like, all Christians, though, I would say.
Forced to hide huge parts of themselves for decades. It can lead to secretive behavior, double lives, self-hatred, or intense anger towards others who are openly what they cannot be publicly, right? That they can't be. They can't do that. Psychologists have talked about this for years, about how repression creates obsessive or contradictory behavior patterns. It's the whole thing about repression in psychology. It's the whole defense mechanism. It's the unwanted impulse about that entire thing. Because repression is when the mind unconsciously hides upsetting feelings or memories, and then these repressed thoughts can create stress, anxiety, or even physical symptoms. And suppression is when someone consciously chooses to ignore painful thoughts. This is basic psychology. This is like 8th grade psychology for most people. Research supports that
8th grade psychology. Who likes learning psychology in 8th grade? That's kind of crazy to me.
Selective forgetting can block awareness of unwanted thoughts and memories. This can occur through retrieval-induced forgetting. Retrieval-induced forgetting happens when recalling certain memories makes related information hard to access. For example, frequently retrieving positive memories might make traumatic or unwanted memories less acceptable. It's a whole thing. It's like a whole thing about repression and suppression. I'd recommend doing some reading. I often read a lot of, this is going to be a lot really controversial for a lot of people. I read Exerbia. I read a lot of him. He helps me out a lot with a lot of things. He's a very controversial figure, but his books are pretty good. And also, if you just pick up, like, I don't know, a 10th grade psychology book, you can figure out this stuff in the first 10 pages if you really want to do some further reading to begin your psychology research. The person attacking queer people the loudest is often fighting something internal. Not always, by the way. This isn't like always guaranteed thing, but most...
if you're watching this, Steros, for whatever reason, if you're a 254K subscriber is watching this for some reason, or will watch this, I would like to mention that I appreciate that you mentioned that's not all the cases, and you try not to generalize too much. You try to like say that not to try to like polarize things so much. It's very good. It's a very good thing to have, and I would keep doing that. Keep not generalizing.
Anti-gay conservatives are probably just, I don't know, genuinely conservative, right? But enough cases exist to notice a pattern. And that pattern is really uncomfortable. I know the internet likes to turn this all into comedy because hypocrisy is one of humanity's favorite
That's
spectator
great.
sports. A politician condemning gay people while publicly while messaging men privately. Oh, it's a big plot twist. That's what it is. Oh, this is so thing. But underneath the memes, there is usually a
I'm probably gonna go like 2 hours to stream. It streams in like an hour 55 minutes now, so I'm probably gonna go around 2 hours ish, and then stream because like just because like it's a bit late for me too. I gotta like brush my teeth and go to bed soon. But like I'll try to stream a little earlier on in the day if I can. But like yeah,
that a reality. It's fear. It's community pressure, ambition, religion, family expectations, identity panic, all colliding together inside one person who could never understand or who has never learned how to hold all those pieces without breaking. And the breaking is public, and the public treats it as entertainment. The entertainment obscures the tragedy. Conventions like the RNC, the Republican National Convention, are becoming associated with grinder spikes that feed directly into that cultural narrative. Thousands of politicians connected people into one city, many away from their spouses, surrounded by intense macho political branding, living in a country where queer conservatives absolutely exist. The result becomes internet folklore almost instantly because America treats contradiction like a reality TV genre now. The genre demands villains. The villains are often people who spent years hiding who they were and often finally got caught by an app notification on a phone screen. The app did not create the contradiction. Grindr just showed everybody. This revelation was always coming. Always, over and over again. I know I can talk about their backgrounds and how they would have lived the bill on in action. Why did Donald Trump talk about and we gotta get this kill all transgenders bill on in action? What's going on?
To kill all transgenders. Okay, what bill is that? I want you to name the bill, bro. Cause like, is that what it's called? Is that what it actually does? Like, I don't think that Donald Trump here would do that. Now, I'm not saying he's perfect. He's certainly not some saint, right? I mean, he did have like the blasphemous, the images that his Twitter account posted. I think it was like with like him as like Jesus and stuff. I don't support that, but I mean, I like this. Like you say like stories demand villains. I mean, it seems like you're villainizing Donald Trump right now pretty hard, saying like, see, look, Donald Trump wants to kill all transgenders. Look at this. You see, like. I mean, it's like the current president wants to kill all transgender. I mean, like, dude, like, what's your evidence for that? Like, can you like show me exactly where in the bill it says that, right? Or what, because like, or what even the bill is actually called, so we can actually do research for ourselves and actually figure out if that's what the bill actually says. But so far, he hasn't seemed to have given that yet. But I haven't given him much chance to speak here, so let's continue.
There, see, for some people, shame and attraction get tangled together in really destructive waves, and the knots will form early, but they tighten over time. It becomes impossible to untie without cutting something loose. If someone grows up in an environment where being attracted to trans people is framed as disgusting, simple, weak, unmanly, or socially unacceptable, the attraction itself becomes psychologically loaded with panic and secrecy. The person still feels the attraction. Attraction does not just disappear just because a culture says don't. So instead of integrating it into their identity,
well, I think that, well, like I was saying, like, I don't think per se homosexual attraction is per se a sin. I mean, it just depends on if you lust after somebody of the same sex or not, or if you like actually have intercourse with them, or seek, or like, if you have lustful thoughts. I mean, I'm not sure if, or lust if you just lust after somebody, like I was saying. So,
honestly, they split themselves in half. Public self over here, private self hidden in a locked basement somewhere emotionally. Probably trying to become a bimbo online like Brian Nome did. And when you split pieces of yourself and you see other people becoming the true version of yourself that you want to be, it creates resentment. Not always hate towards themselves directly, toward the people who remind them of the part they are trying to suppress. A trans woman existing openly becomes a walking mirror, reflecting back desires or curiosity someone
I would like to mention, going back with like the Trump bill thing, I would like to mention also, I don't think it's a good idea not label, like, to make a serious claim like that, like the literal president of the United States is making a genocidal bill. I think that's a really big claim, and especially since he didn't name the actual bill name. I mean, unless it's actually called that, which I highly doubt that, by the way. I highly doubt that. I can look that up maybe after the stream or something, But like, I could, I don't know, maybe I don't know, like, um, well, actually, let's look up right now on the Trump's kill. It's probably gonna be like a very biased like thing here, but all transgender bill. I think I would think, now this is my guess what it actually is. What it actually is probably saying that there's only two sexes or two genders, male and female, and that's not actually killing transgender people. So I mean, my guess is that's probably what it is. It's just being worded really weird. And there's no federal bill or executive order that proposed or signed by President Trump that mandates killing transgender people. I mean, this is to be fair Google, but at the same time, I mean, it's like, well, the Trump administration has introduced multiple restrictive policies, including executive orders, and supported legislation targeting transgender individuals. None of these actions involve state-sanctioned violence or execution. Regarding a kill bill appears on the internet misinformation or appears to be internet misinformation or an extreme non-literal characterization of policies that critics argue threaten the well-being of the transgender community. Okay, so it could be non-literal, but it sounds pretty literal. It could easily radicalize somebody. So be careful when you're saying stuff like that. I try not to say like super radical stuff like that because I don't want to like radicalize people in the wrong direction, or at least radicalize people, too far. If I am like, well, I mean, I don't want to like make people extremists, and be like, non-literal policies that critics argue that threaten well-being of the transgender community. Minors care, the healthcare restrictions. Minors care, the administration is removed to cut off federal funding and support for gender affirming care for individuals under 19. Okay, 19. So basically, it's saying no minor transitions and stuff, or no hormone therapy for minors and stuff. I think this is okay. I think this is getting it from, okay, because they might be arguing that if you, is my guess anyway. This might not be true, but like it could be that because you're not giving these minors gender affirming care, quote unquote, then they're going to off themselves and stuff because you're not giving them the care they require. Even though there has been probably too much research into other. I don't think too much research into other alternatives for that. And stuff. They just go right to like, you feel like so and so, you do this so and so. Well, let's get you some hormones. Let's block your puberty. Let's get you I mean, it's not always super quick. Sometimes it can be kind of quick, but I mean, it depends on probably like the person, because there've been some examples I've heard of, like I've seen on videos where like they'll say it's like the person will say they got transitioned pretty fast, or someone will be like, So anyway, the House passed the bill. This is continuing with the 19 thing. The House passed a bill seeking to impose prison time on providers treating minors. This is talking about minors, right? So this is not talking about adults, right? That's not talking about consenting adults. This is talking about minors, all right? I mean, I guess 18 is minor. It's a not minor, and so it's talking about 19 under 19, but I think it means under 18, but I don't know. Federal policies have been enacted to ban Medicaid and Medicare funding, gender affirming care, transitional treatments have also been excluded. Transition treatments have also been excluded from the federal employee health benefits program. So basically, it's like, well, it seems like they're not gonna want to fund this with taxpayer dollars. Basically, that's what it seems like it's saying. Military service ban. I'm sorry, I'm saying way too fast. An executive order was signed to exclude transgender individuals from serving openly in the U.S. Armed Forces. This policy faced immediate legal challenges, resulting in a June 2026 appeals and court ruling that partially blocked the ban for currently serving plaintiffs. I mean, that seems like, also definition, and there's a definition of sex, and an executive order directed federal agencies to recognize only two mutable sexes, male and female, based on biological sex at birth. And that was kind of what I was talking about. There's a little more, but I don't want to go through all that. I mean, just because that's a lot. But anyway, let's continue here. Also, this stream's been going on for about 2 hours. This is probably the longest video. Well, it's not video, but this is the longest content I've probably ever made on this YouTube channel. So, praise the Lord. I'm getting a little tired, a little eepy here, but it's okay.
Desperately once buried. Human beings have a long history of attacking things that expose uncomfortable truths inside themselves. The exposed nerve hurts.
Could be true.
The pain needs an outlet. The outlet becomes the person who did not ask to be a mirror. Because this is important about mirrors. The mirrors will just stand there showing you what you are. The mirror did nothing wrong, but the mirror is going to get broken because you can't handle your own reflection. As I discussed earlier, there's also the taboo effect. The brain intensifies forbidden things. I'm not supposed to eat the cookie in the cookie jar, but it's a cookie, and I want the cookie.
Oh yeah.
Aw. And what
The classic the classic thing, you can't when someone says you can't do that, so like you just want to do it more, that kind of thing.
religion and strict morality and hyper
Strict
masculine environment,
religion,
security
strict morality.
culture, all of it accidentally turns attraction into this wild obsession. Oh,
Well, I mean, putting rules on things isn't inherently. If you're trying to put any morality on this, I'm not saying he is, but I mean, if he's trying to do that, then I'm just gonna say that. I mean, just making rules isn't a bad thing, right? Making rules against there's rules against stealing. I mean, should we just if I say don't like you said taking a cookie out of a cookie jar. If I say don't steal from the store or don't steal from your neighbor, and you want to steal more and you just want to steal, like that's not a bad thing to do that. So I mean, I'm just gonna say if anyone tries to make this like a moral thing, I mean, you'd have to like bring a little more to the table than that, because I could probably just say, well, then you basically just say you could banish all morals for that, because for that matter, if it causes something like this, right?
I'm gonna watch a trans girls go at each other on X videos. I'm gonna watch this. Nah, I'm
Yo,
gonna
what?
watch this.
How did we escalate to this? Yo, what? Okay. This guy's funny. This guy's funny. I both like. Of course, I have stuff to criticize with him, but at the same time, he's kind of funny. So I mean, I kind of appreciate, I guess, kind of his humor, even despite in the topic.
Just want to watch that. I'm gonna make laws that make them have to go even more secret. I'm gonna make them more secret, so they have to try harder. And then when they're struggling and they're having a hard time trying to be who they are,
What law is there against doing that? Against watching that? Or what law is there against making trans people can't be who they are? I mean, as long as they're adults. I mean, the only thing it's doing is mainly for minors, and just recognizing, and it's also not bending the will of like the government, like the definitions of what a man and a woman is, because people think or want to be the opposite sex, or are feelings that they are the opposite sex, right? So I mean,
I come to save them, and they can live with me in my basement. Oh, it's gonna be good. And this secrecy
yeah,
adds adrenaline, and fear adds intensity. Fantasy adds layers that real life cannot compete with. The person is not just chasing attraction anymore; they're chasing danger, escape, rebellion, anonymity, humiliation, thrill, guilt, all mixed together into one emotional cocktail that becomes hard to separate because it's all liquid sludge all together. They cannot tell anymore what they actually want versus what they want, because they are not supposed to want it. The not supposed to becomes the point. That's why you see so many people just perform disgust while privately consuming the content, messaging trans women, or seeking out encounters in secret. The public performance protects their status. The private behavior satisfies them.
I mean, okay, my solution to this personally would probably be like to in the Christian community at least, right? I mean, or in the maybe the Republican community, right? Make like to like let people know, and like kind of show more of like a love towards people who are trans, like to show that or like to show people love for people who don't agree with the views that are held there, right? And everything. I mean, I'm sure like people on the left have the same thing. I mean, like they might have more different views that different from the left, but like they might be afraid of like getting retaliated against. But like I was saying though, back with the Republican thing, right? We should still make it a more accepting environment when it comes to like when it comes to Christians, Republicans and stuff. We should make it a more accepting environment to to disagree in, and to like and to like not be directly hated. I mean, not to say that we shouldn't, not to say that you can't say still that, or that they couldn't say it still, that it's immoral if they wanted to say that, or if they felt, if that's how they how they felt, or what their opinion, or if that's like their conclusion off of the facts. But at the same time though, we should still like show love to these people, and gentleness and kindness to these people, so that they don't feel like they have to like hide their true desires. In this, like, I'm not saying we should like just do whatever the heck you want all the time. Like I'm just saying like we shouldn't like, because these people shouldn't be afraid to like, they shouldn't have to be afraid to talk about their concerns and how they feel, right? To some extent, like, well, because I guess there could be like some extent where like it might not be good depending on what it is, but like, but I'm mainly more not even thinking about the trans thing at this point when it comes to that, but or the gay thing. But I mean, I think we should still be more accepting to like well, not more accepting, but like I guess more like kind and gentle towards um, LGBT people and LGBT Republicans, LGBT Democrats and stuff. Everyone, But we should be generally kind to everybody. But at the same time, still hold up truth and still stay strong in truth, stand in truth, and not waver, and stand with God and everything, and not approve of sin. But you can do that, and at the same time, be gentle and kind to people who disagree with you, and let them know and that it's okay if they okay in the sense like if you're not gonna not gonna abuse them because they believe in something different. But like, anyways, continue.
The desire. The contradiction looks insane from the outside because it is psychologically unstable. Humans are very capable of building identities around denial. The denial is not a lie they tell others, it is a lie you tell yourself. The self lie is the strongest kind. It does not need evidence, it just needs repetition. Repeated thing enough times and it becomes furniture, truth in your brain. You see similar patterns throughout history with anti-gay Republicans later exposed to same-sex relationships, religious leaders condemning sexuality while secretly engaging in the same behavior they preach against. The pattern is the same way. The mechanism is the same. It's
Like you're
always
saying
the
earlier,
same.
this is not
Repression
everybody
creates
though.
fixation rather than removal. The mind circles the forbidden thing constantly because it never resolved it honestly. And unresolved things, they just don't disappear. They will go underground. Now, this does not mean every person who hates
And also, the solution to this possibly in the Christian environment when it comes to like the priests, or pastors, being homosexual and doing this behind closed doors. I mean, I would suggest more like knowing that God, like just because you have certain desires, God's not going to hate you, and you should still refrain from those desires, of course, like engaging in them. But if you do, don't go down on yourself too much because eventually that could make you lose hope and like everything because like you can just like repent and like believe in Christ and know that Christ has forgiven you and that you can just move on and just get up because the Bible says a righteous man may fall like a righteous man falls 6 times and gets up gets on. Righteous man, on. I gotta look up the first one. Righteous man. Okay, the righteous man falls. Proverbs 24:16. Um. What's the actual first one? This is the NKJV. Just a quick comes up. A righteous man may fall 7 times and rise again. The wicked shall fall by command. Also, an interesting verse too. The 17 of verse of Proverbs 24:16 to 18 says, "Do not rejoice when your enemy falls, and do not let your heart be glad when he stumbles, lest the Lord see it and it displease him, and he turn away his wrath from him." Well, let's go 15. Let's go 15. I don't know if this is on. Let's go look at the ESV real quick, because like it doesn't sound like what I was thinking. Let's see what this is. Lie not in wait as a wicked man against the dwelling of the righteous. Do no violence in his home. For the righteous man falls 7 times and rises again. Righteous man basically but the wicked stumble in times of calamity. So basically, like, the point if you're righteous, you'll probably like get up again and stuff. You won't stay down or something. I'm not a theologian. I'm not a pastor, so I mean, my goodness. But anyway, I mean, yeah. Let's continue the video a little bit.
Trans people is secretly attracted to trans people. I gotta keep saying this because it makes sense to think that, right? Plenty of transphobia comes from ideologically, religion, fear, social change, misinformation, or simple tribal politics.
Well, just because fear of social change, I mean, are those fears justified though or not, right? I mean, you could have fear and that not be a bad thing. Also, a lot of transphobia comes from religion. I mean, it can, but it depends on how you define transphobia, right? If you're talking about literally hating trans people and, thinking of them as less than because they're trans, and yes, but like that can happen sometimes, but like that's not as much as it would happen as you might be able to say it happens. Then not nearly as much as transphobia happens in how a lot of people define it as just more like disagreeing with the narrative or just like not affirming someone's identity as if they're trans, right? Because that could also be interpreted as transphobia according to a lot of people, as far as I've seen a bit of people. So I mean,
not every bigot is a closeted case. That is too easy. That lets everyone else off the hook by making bigotry into a personal psychological failing instead of a cultural problem, because it is a cultural problem.
Well, what is bigotry here, and what do you mean by bigotry? It
Both
is a bad
things
thing.
can be true. Some bigots are projecting, some are just bigots. That matters. It matters a lot. Since we're talking about stuff people rarely discuss, what about objectification too? Some men secretly desire trans women sexually while still refusing to see them as full human beings publicly. They reduce them to a hidden fantasy category instead of respecting them openly as people. I have heard so many stories from so many trans people that say, yeah,
We should all see trans people as people, obviously, because they're people. We should love them and tell them the truth and tell them the truth of the Bible and the gospel. Tell them the gospel and tell them that God loves them and that God gotta love them no matter what. But like at the same time, like God wishes for them to change and God wishes for them to come to Him and they don't have to change first before they come to Him, but that they can rely on God to like transform them to be more Christ-like and that they don't have to do this alone and that God will work in them and they don't have to like have the burden of like, well, am I gonna be good enough because Jesus was good enough for them, so Jesus is good enough for everyone, so.
I really like this guy, but he's scared of his family and religious stuff, and he's a mayor or something like that, or he's a policeman, and he's scared that his sister might find out, or scared that his mom might find out, and we have to meet in public. And trans women are okay with this sometimes because at least they're getting love, right? At least they're getting somebody, or it makes them feel powerful because they get to just have someone. And in a lonely existence sometimes that being trans is, when you don't have a lot of people that you can actively rely on. You're in a small town and the cop figures out you're trans and then loves you because the fact that you being trans. It's private desire and public dehumanization, acknowledging them sincerely would threaten the image they built of themselves. And the image is so fragile. The fragility requires constant maintenance. The maintenance includes attacking the people you desire so no one suspects you desire them. That's what it is. Because if I hate this thing long enough, then nobody thinks I like it. It's also that old boy thing where, oh, he's bullying you because he likes you, right? He's bullying you because he likes you. I hate the fact that trans people are becoming targets of fetishization and hatred at the same time. The same person who desires them might also vote against their rights. The same person who messages them privately might.
What do you mean? What do you mean to vote against their rights? I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, this is a hypothetical situation, but if you're at all applying and this is happening, please give us some examples. Because I don't think that you know, that minors being able to transition should be a right, or is it? It might not even be right at all. But like for minor to transition.
Mock them publicly. The whiplash is disorienting. The disorientation is so exhausting, and you become numb to this entire thing. The closeted or repressed person lives a double life that slowly corrodes their ability to be emotionally honest, and that dishonesty bleeds into everything: relationships, parenting, self-image, the ability to sit in a room without feeling like a fraud. And then public discourse gets so poisoned because conversations about gender become fueled by fear and projection and shame and performance instead of the actual reality of what's happening in life. People are not arguing about policy, they are arguing about parts of themselves they cannot face. And the argument is a distraction. The distraction is the point. The point is to keep looking outward so you don't have to look inward. Looking inward might require changing something, and changing something is hard. And it's so hard to change something you intrinsically believe about yourself when they contradict each other. A lot of culture wars are powered less by confidence than by panic. Panic about identity, panic about desire, panic about losing social belonging, panic about what it means.
I don't think he's necessarily wrong here. He's probably done some research on this.
If the thing you were taught
sadly, he didn't do any research on the Trump bills, though.
Fear is also something you cannot stop thinking about. The panic is real, right? The people being
Israel. The Jews! It's the Jews up to this. It's the Jews! I'm just kidding, guys. That was a joke, by the way. If the Mossad's watching this is a joke. Okay, I promise.
It's hacked. Did not
Shabbat Shalom. Okay? Shabbat Shalom. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm just kidding.
They just exist. Existing is enough to trigger the panic. The panic does not care about innocent. The panic just needs a target. It's really sad. It's very sad. I just wanted to make this video to talk about the mindset of gay Republicans more so than anything. That was the point of the video. I made a video talking about the bill that they are passing right now, or more so.
Oh, so you did look into research into the bill. So you made a video about
the bill they're passing right now. The statement that the White House
I guess
made,
I guess it doesn't mean you do research, but like
talking about how they're going to war against Antifa and pro-radical trans people because.
Well, Antifa literally, I mean, Antifa's, I mean, I don't know, see why they shouldn't like go to war against Antifa. I mean, they're literally causing violence and fear. You know, I mean, like they go to like rat, like they'll go to like I forgot. Never mind. I forgot. Just maybe discard that. I don't know.
Because trans
I
people
don't
are such
remember
a
that well.
horrifying.
Like I said, my memory is terrible. But like I've seen them like videos and stuff. They're not exactly though. They're not exactly friendliest people, and I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what they because they might be able to be considered a terrorist organization, but from what I remember, but I don't remember like enough of it to like know for sure. So I mean, take it with a grain of salt.
Thing. They
Look
think
at it
it's
for
an
yourself.
abomination to God, and it's just really disrespectful because trans people are such a horrifying thing. They think it's an abomination to God, and it's
I mean, the action of like doing that could be like very offensive to God. I mean, because like God made them male and female and stuff, so like just it's just a big lie and everything. But I mean, but you can still love trans people though, and God still loves trans people. It doesn't change that. I mean,
just really disrespectful to a lot of people that are just trying to exist and get medical care and live their lives, and I think it's disgusting.
well, the thing is that a lot of the pushback I'm saying is not just about because people are just trying to do medical care and stuff. It's because people are pushing on minors and stuff. So and everything, and putting like books in schools, you know, that are like inappropriate with actual intimate acts in like elementary slash middle schools. I did see a video about like books being actually put in there, like the people going to the school board and talking about the books and with their sorry, with their kid, and stuff, saying this was in the library and stuff.
So, yeah, that's really what I want to talk about today. If you are a trans person and you want to share your story, I'm all ears. I love reading comments. I don't usually respond to comments, and I usually don't read a lot of them because they make me feel bad. If I think the message is going to be negative, I usually just scroll past it. But I do read the comments. I just claim I don't read them all the time because, you know what I mean? I also get a lot of comments sometimes and a lot of messages from a lot of people. If you are
Anyway, like this guy, I like to read comments too. So please, if this VOD is done, you can still leave comments. If you can still leave comments after the VOD, anyway, that is. I mean, if you can still leave comments after the stream, if you can, please leave a comment down below. I would love to read it and see what you have to say. I also, unlike him though, I will probably respond to comments just because I don't have as many comments as he does. It's probably a little easier for me to do it because this guy has 254K subscribers, much more than I do. But I mean, still, I'm pretty happy with what I got. I mean, it's 82 is pretty good. If I think it's that, think about what I have, 82. Praise the Lord. Thank Lord that other guy subscribed too. That the all bathwater all along, which is honestly is a pretty funny name. Not gonna lie, I love that name. Makes me think Gamer Girl Bathwater, which reminds me back of those times when that was being sold. That was hilarious. But anyway, sad times, but interesting times. Anyway, I think that'll be this. I think that'll be it for this stream. I'm about to say video, but this is technically a stream, so that'll be it for the stream. I'm gonna end it. It's late, and my family's gotta sleep, and I gotta sleep too. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video or if you enjoyed the stream, please like the stream. If you if you can comment, please comment down below, and subscribe if you're new or if you haven't seen or if you haven't already. If you like my content, please subscribe as well. And may God bless you and all the best. All right. Bye. Until next time. I'm sorry, I forgot. Also, I'm planning on trying to stream some more, like actually starting to stream now, so like that's why I'm doing the streams.